He was unable to haul it in and turn upfield with it, but he ran right into the opposing number 30, Big Parker McClure, and they're making an effective play on the first play of the game for the Red Mountain Lions.
Another huge point from a Red Mountain perspective. Number 27, Skylar Evans, out tonight due to that incident last week as it related to targeting. We'll talk about that as we move on. Ackley's going to scramble out of the pocket. He's going to go down. Quinn Roper was there along with Tyler Cade Brown, the defensive duo for Red Mountain here to begin tonight's contest here.
Excellent job closing to the football. Both those guys coming in just as Ackley gets past the line of scrimmage, shutting it down and forcing a 3rd and long now. A big 3rd and long here early in the ball game for Corona del Sol.
We'd like to welcome all of you watching tonight's game on Red Mountain TV. Give us a note on Twitter at KDB Voice, at JP_Bcast. Let us know where you're watching tonight's game from. Hashtag roll call. They set up a screen to the near side. Making the reception and turning it upfield right on the numbers is Jonathan Kubat. Kubat makes the reception, and he's going to be brought down near the 30-yard line in a swarm of Mountain Lions. And one of the players over there besides Ross Grosskloss was the defensive standout from last week was Mapp Starks. So Mapp Starks out of that secondary position up there to defend the screenplay. And Jonathan Kubat, nice reception, turned upfield and just had nowhere to go. Great pursuit to the football by the Mountain Lion defense here early on.
Excellent pursuit angles, and if you're Coach Kyle Enders, the Red Mountain defensive coordinator, you got to be happy with that 3 and out right away here in the first part of the game.
On in punt formation for Corona del Sol is Malcolm Flynn. Back deep at his own 40-yard line for the Mountain Lions. That is Mr. Turley. Let's double check that. It's one of the Coopers. And on
Cooper Beecher, I believe, Kev, number 8 on that return right there.
Yeah, it was Beach. Nice call right there. Cooper Beecher on the return. Most important thing about that play as he looked up into that night sky here in Tempe, Arizona, just after 7 o'clock, is to secure the football for Carter Crispin. And here comes Carter Crispin, the junior right-handed signal caller. He's inherited the job at the position, but he not only did he inherit the job, he actually won the job outright. And he is your signal caller. He's got 2 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right here. And before we could get this play underway, we're going to get whistles immediately. As soon as we find out who our officiating crew will pass that information along, was left up in the press box when we were there last, before we had to do the drive-through phone booth change-up of our position here in Corona del Sol.
Now, Kev, I know it's a little hot outside, but do you like the icy white look there? I can almost feel the cool breeze coming off those uniforms. I like that really clean look tonight for the Mountain Lions. White jerseys, white pants, and the matte black helmets.
93 degrees at kickoff, and a little delay. Carter Crispin will hand the football off. It'll be Lennox Lawson carrying the football for the first time this evening out of that slot back position. Lining up to the near side here will be Cooper Turley in the slot. Is Lennox Lawson. To the far right is Jacoby Lane. Jacoby might have moved a little bit early that time. And you wonder where this ball was going, and I'll tell you right now, James, this ball was going up top to number 5, Jacoby Lane. Already 199 yards receiving on 10 receptions, 3 touchdowns for Jacoby Lane. And for Jacoby Lane, early on in this campaign, he's just been big play with the opportunities that he has had.
Yeah, he was itching to get off the football right there. You could almost tell that he was going to be the hot route on that play right there. He was itching to get off the line of scrimmage, and now they got to make up that penalty yardage right here due to the Mountain Lions offense.
It'll be Josh McElroy or Houston Hill who starts in that lineman spot. That ball is sailed over the middle, and Carter Crispin looking for Josiah Villanueva down the hash marks, right down the middle of the football field, and that one took off on Carter Crispin. You don't see Crispin miss by that much very often in this young campaign.
He kind of uncoiled that arm a little bit. It almost had a little bit of a sidearm to it there, Kevin. It had some air underneath it.
Well, I don't know what kind of background Carter Crispin has as far as playing baseball. We sure see it on Sundays in the National Football League with Patty Mahomes. The ability for him to make a pass right in front of a lineman that's about 6'8", 340 pounds, and he can sidearm that bad boy right past the defensive lineman. That's impressive. There goes the action man. That is Josiah Villanueva. Crispin back to throw. With time, he lost it to the right side. The ball's going to be caught in the flat. Breaking a tackle and spinning away from another defender was Lennox Lawson as he comes to a stop at midfield right at the 50-yard line. Nice job there by Lennox Lawson, always moving his feet. He's just tough to bring down one-on-one, James.
Excellent player in space is L3, and he had just about got all but 2 yards of the total yardage needed right there for the first down. A great play by Lennox Lawson, and he's got to be a factor here tonight for this Red Mountain offense.
Unofficially a gain of 12 for Lennox, short of the first down. Here comes the punt coverage, and they apply some pressure on Mr. Mater. You are watching Red Mountain football on Red Mountain TV from Tempe, Arizona, at the home of Corona del Sol High School. Kevin Derryberry alongside James Poovey. We are scoreless, 8:57 to go. First quarter, both teams have had one possession, and now both teams now working on their second possession here, and it'll be Connor Ackley and the Corona del Sol Aztecs beginning in their second possession here.
Look for Red Mountain to pin their ears back right here and come after the quarterback, trying to rattle him here in the early first part of this ball game. Try to force another 3 and out.
Nico Garces will get his first start of the year at cornerback as the Aztecs want to sweep it to the near side. McKay on the carry, and he ran into Ross Grosskloss right there defensively for Red Mountain. Just love his size, 6'2", 200-pounder, just vacating that spot from George Ramirez. And he just did a nice job there of hunting down the ball, finding it, and finishing on the play.
You know, very often this season, especially, Kevin, every time the Red Mountain Lions are on defense, we are calling number 2's name quite a bit. He's often involved in most plays for the defense.
So Kubak gets the carry again, runs to the near side, right along on the near hash marks. The big fella, the J-man, Jaden Hurst, up there to make the tackle. There was some question about Jaden Hurst's availability after last week's game. He's been continued to be plagued by back spasms, so it's nice to see big sevens out there, the J-man making some plays. He had a really nice game last week, and you have to account for him defensively, no doubt about it.
You absolutely do. He'll get double-teamed a lot here tonight against these Aztecs, and they will have to account for him on every single play.
Ackley with an empty set with 5 wide. Looks to the near side, lost it down the field, looking for Jansen. The ball's overthrown. Owen Jansen, the intended target. He's got a lot of speed. Last week he had 91 yards of reception and a touchdown on 5 catches. And this time the Ackley pass just a little bit too much juice on that one. Perhaps Ackley still a little bit pumped up, as was Carter Crispin. So both these quarterbacks will have to settle down here and relax just a little bit here. And that's one thing that we've talked about Crispin for Carter, is that he's just been so relaxed and so poised all year long.
Well, you talk about the young quarterbacks, Kevin. Both young quarterbacks on display here tonight. Red Mountain's Carter Crispin, a junior, and Ackerley for the Aztecs of Corona del Sol, just a sophomore. So we're going to get a chance to see these guys grow up right before our eyes. And I see Mom just about 5 rows down from where we're sitting right now, Miss Jody Jackson from Fox Sports Arizona, out here watching her son, Connor Ackerley, playing football tonight. It's great to see that, and we get to see these young guys grow up, like I said, Kevin, right here in front of us.
Nice contribution around the state of Arizona when it relates to sports. Jody Jackson, one of the finest to do her job, working for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Jody Jackson. 7:30 to go, first quarter. A low snap for Crispin, and he'll get the ball into the hands of Lennox Lawson, and he turns the corner, and Lennox Lawson, difficult to tackle there. Up to make the tackle for the Aztecs in a nice position there. Good hands there by Tristan Schaefer. For Schaefer, 5'10", 180-pounder, had 10 tackles and a fumble recovery in last week's contest. The Aztecs 0-2 under Johnny Bechtold, the 8th coach in this program's history for Corona del Sol. Gain of 7 for Lennox Lawson. 2nd and 3 from their own 48-yard line. They run it up the middle, spinning out of a tackle and getting dropped in the backfield was Michael Mallory. Leading the charge was Jalen Walker among friends. And Michael Mallory, pound for pound, might be the toughest guy they have in their offense. And he's certainly one of the fastest guys that they have. But X-rays negative on that left hand of his. That's a good sign for this football program.
That is a great sign. I wanted to mention Michael Mallory on that previous play there, Kevin. He was the one that got around the corner there on that jet sweep to L3, and he got that seal block that allowed Lennox Lawson to get about 5 to 8 extra yards on the play. And Mallory, just nothing he could do right there. Just too many Aztec defenders in his face on that one.
Jacoby Lane will start and break the huddle on the right side. He's right at the numbers. He hasn't been targeted yet. There goes Lennox Lawson in motion. They fake it to him. Crispin wants to throw. Looking for the deep ball. Wants Jacoby Lane. Has Jacoby Lane. The ball is caught by Lane inside the 10-yard line. He'll be dropped around the 5-yard line. What a ball by Carter Crispin as he lofted that one in the air. Pretty pass. Great reception by Jacoby Lane, and Jacoby Lane doing Jacoby Lane things, just making a fantastic catch.
Unbelievable job going up, high pointing the football. He bobbled it, Kevin, once, maybe even twice, but he had the wherewithal to keep his eyes on the football and follow it all the way in for the catch, all the way to the ground. What a play right there.
Unofficially a gain of 57 yards. Carter Crispin to Jacoby Lane. First and goal to go. Mountain Lions working right to left, wearing their all-white uniforms. Their numbers are in silver, trimmed in cardinal. Clap of the hands for Crispin. He puts it into the gut of Villanueva, and he's going to get dropped at the point of contact. Right at the line of scrimmage, he got drilled. Nice tackle there for the Aztecs. First man there was Jeff Lambert, 6'2", 210, and Tristan Schaefer also in the vicinity. But, James, for me, when I see the name Lambert playing defense, playing tackle football,
here we go.
I immediately go to my guy, Jack Lambert. I mean, come on. From a linebacker spot, you tell me who played better during his career, and there's a ton of them. Jack Lambert was one of those dudes.
There were few better, especially the guys that wore number 58. Another one, decent linebacker, James Poovey, also wore number 58 back in Texas.
Is that right?
Yeah, but that's about all as it relates to Jack Lambert.
Check it in for the Mountain Lions in the backfield. So fantastic. It happens all the time. 26, he must be a new guy coming up from the junior varsity for this Friday night. So you don't have him on the roster.
You won't believe this, Kev, but there was actually a couple guys last night that weren't on the roster.
Oh, I find
that
to be shocking, honestly. I really do. All right.
And, of course, they're the guys that make like 18 plays during the game, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I remember 15 you guys called all night last night. All right, a clap of the hands for Crispin. Looking left. Flushed out of the pocket. He wants to run it to the 10, to the 5, and he's upended. Great open field tackle there by Kevon Thomas. Outstanding open field tackle. He had 2 of those last week. 6 foot 150, just a sophomore. I liked his makeup right there on that play.
That was a great open field tackle right there. We call that a submarine. You throw yourself at the ball carrier, right at the legs, aim for the thigh area, and wrap him up.
Crispin, 3rd and goal from the 6. Crispin going to dump it off out in the flat. The ball is caught, and diving towards the end zone, just inside the pylon. That's a touchdown. Josiah Villanueva on the receiving end of this one, 6 yards to pay dirt, and the Mountain Lions score first here in this 6A non-conference football game.
I love seeing 34 going that opposite way, Kevin. The Typhoon just running towards that pylon, and it's just a flat-out foot race. Josiah Villanueva came out on top of that one.
Love the play call by Josh Barge right there. Get innovative. Get a little creative there. You talk about some misdirection there. Villanueva typically running sweeps, jet sweeps, and power runs. That time he was the receiver, and a nice little job of deception as the quarterback, Carter Crispin. Great faking with the football, and then finally found his target, and it was Josiah Villanueva with the toughness and that propensity to get to the goal line. His 4th touchdown in 2 weeks now for Josiah Villanueva. Have a day. Have a night, 34.
Kudos to the big boys up front as well, selling that on the play side there, blocking that and getting that defense over to the wrong side of the field so the offense could work opposite side and get Villanueva free toward the pylon.
Rudy Robertson and Jefferson Giles part of that mix up front. So here comes Kai Evans on for the point after try. This will be out of a hold of number 89, Cody Hall. Snap back, the kick is up, and it's through the uprights. 3:54 to go in this first quarter from Tempe, Arizona. Our score, Red Mountain 7, the Corona del Sol Aztecs 0. It was Carter Crispin with his 7th touchdown pass of the season. 6 yards to Josiah Villanueva. Nice little run after catch by Villanueva. He got it done.
He did indeed. I just love to see him hit the Jets right there and just flat out foot race against the defender. 9 times out of 10, Kevin, I'm putting my money on Villanueva.
With that touchdown for Red Mountain, Parker & Sons donates another $100 to Red Mountain Football for all of your heating and cooling needs. Parker & Sons is there for you. There will be no Melvins on your job. 7-0, 3:54 to go on this one. Yeah, so no Skylar Edmonds. And you guys might remember last week, bang play involving Parker McClure, Skylar Edmonds, and the Mesa quarterback. And on the play, Skylar Edmonds drilled Parker McClure. McClure got hit by friendly fire. McClure was actually knocked out, and McClure was able to walk off the field under his own power, and Skylar Edmonds was ejected at that moment for targeting his own player. That is absolutely correct. They appealed it, and they denied it. They said there is no appeal for that. It's Jansen from his own 5. Angles to the 10, 15, and he's going to be dropped in the backfield right there. Excellent open field tackle there by Red Mountain.
Kevin, there were so many big hits last week at Mesa High School against the Jackrabbits, and you see those guys that went in together on that hit as defenders going in and trying to sandwich the ball carrier, and it's just one of those where the ball carrier gets out of the way at the last split second, and those guys collided, and boy, it was some kind of car crash.
How about Carson Mouter on that play right there? You talk about getting low to the ground. The stick on the return man, he literally just ran to where he couldn't run at all and had his legs taken out. That was a bang play by Mouter. Nice job for our punter getting it done right there. 1st and 10 for Connor Ackley from his own 15-yard line. 85 yards away here, 7-0 Mountain Lions. Ackley out of the pistol. They run it to Kudat. And for Jonathan Kubat, coming off a 109-yard performance last week, 27 totes for 109 yards and 2 touchdowns. For Corona del Sol's bell cow tailback. 5'10", 180. He's a junior. He could deliver some punishment, James.
Absolutely. He comes up and lays a lick whenever possible and plays really smart defense as well.
Gain it 2. Jansen will line up to the far side right along with the numbers. Red Mountain will rush 4 down linemen. Snap is back. Ackley to the near side. Lost it this way, and the ball is going to be caught. Breaking a tackle for Corona del Sol is Lambert. The ball is stripped away and stolen by the Mountain Lions. So Lambert made the catch, and then on the return, the ball was taken away by Cooper Turley. Make it the other 8, if you will, and that is going to be Cooper Beecher. So how about Beach with the strip? And let's see if that play holds up. As all indications are, is that pass play was successful to Jeff Lambert, but then it was Cooper Beecher on the strip as Lambert tried to make a move near midfield, and you see Beach going the other way with the football. How about it?
It makes you wonder, Kevin, why it doesn't happen more often when a player gets a ball caught on him, especially a defensive back, and he doesn't say, wait a minute, that's my football. Give me that thing back. That's exactly what he did and took it the other way.
That'll negate what could have been a 38-yard pass play. So it'll be a takeaway for Red Mountain. Carter Crispin is right back on the field. He's got Jacoby Lane to the far side. Crispin wants to roll to the far side. It's Crispin calling his own number to the 40, and he gets dropped right near the 37-yard line. Crispin's taking some shots out there. That was a pretty big hit by the defender for Corona del Sol.
That was Marcel McKay. He got great position right there. He was already broken down, and Crispin came up on him, tried to make a move, but he wasn't going anywhere, and McKay delivered a shot on Carter Crispin.
Yeah, Crispin was on the move, and McKay stayed right there, stayed at home, did what he's supposed to do, and met Crispin head on right there. Great tackle there by Marcel McKay. Gain of 4 for Carter Crispin.
All you young players that are watching right now, that is textbook play out there in the flat. You angle yourself at a 45-degree angle, force all the action back inside, and that's exactly what number 6, Marcel McKay, did right there on that play.
So they're going to ask Jefferson Giles to give way here. The center is going to have to take a play off here. In the backfield to the left of Carter Crispin is Lennox Lawson. Crispin takes the snap, scrambles. He'll dart up the middle, and he'll take it to the 36-yard line. He wanted to throw the football to the left side, and the Aztec defense doing a nice job there of taking away the left side there, and that'll force a 3rd down situation here. 3rd and 4 from the Aztecs' 38-yard line. Carter Crispin has been on the move here a couple times here in this one.
Yes, he has. And if you guys watching tonight missed the play that Kevin was talking about just a little bit ago involving Skylar Edmonds and Parker McClure, that was shades of that play right there where number 47 for Corona del Sol, Nathan Comier Ward, and number 7, Jalen Walker collided on that last play right there.
So Crispin now on a 3rd and 4 from the 36-yard line. Has 2 wide receivers to the left. He's got Jacoby Lane isolated the far side by himself. And before we could get the snap off, more movement up front. Let's see who this one's going to go against. At kickoff here in Tempe was about 93 degrees with, I'm guessing, somewhere near 15 to 20% humidity. It is a bit sticky out here in this one.
93 at kickoff, and it's about 92.5 now, I think, Kevin.
Yeah. Shout out to our guy, former offensive coordinator back in the heyday of Red Mountain football, Chris Andrianis, checking in from his palatial palace near Red Mountain High School. Shout out to the guy, the former head coach of the Bourgade Catholic Golden Eagles, one-time Hokie, Chris Andrianis. So it's now 3rd down and 8 from the 41-yard line for Carter Crispin. There goes Villanueva in motion. Crispin back to throw. Fires over the middle of the field, and the ball is nearly intercepted. He was going for Preston Heap over the middle of the field. It looked like the defensive play was made by Nathan Cormier Ward. Cormier Ward with 7 tackles last week, a 41-tackle season a year ago, an all-region performer in the East Valley region. Cormier Ward with a nice defensive play there, and it's 4th down and 9. No punter here on the field. Crispin wants to go for it. There goes Lennox Lawson in motion. Long count for Crispin. Snaps his hands. And now it's going to be Crispin who's going to punt it. And he is going to drop this one inside the 5, and it's going to roll into the end zone. So Carter Crispin doing an interesting job of showing that he's going to maybe throw the football and then stops and kicks the football. You were expecting that, weren't you?
Yeah, that's exactly how he drew it up, right? He almost pinned that thing right inside the 5 or 10-yard line there, Kev, if it would have taken just a little bit more of a bounce the other way. But touchback nonetheless for CDS.
So Connor Ackley with his 3rd possession of the night. Good baseball player as well for Ackley. 1st and 10 on his own 20-yard line, trailing 7-0 here.
How long ago was Andrew at Bourgade Catholic? I think
it's several years ago.
Like 10? Several?
Probably, yeah, maybe. Sure.
I think that might be where I saw him at.
8
I
or
used
10.
to coach against him, I think, now.
78 seconds to go in the quarter. They go to the first man through, and he's going to be grabbed and thrown down there. Getting it done was Quinn Roper. He was the first guy there and had a couple of other tacklers over there to spill over the ball carrier. In this case, Jonathan Kubat. No gain. Final minute of play here out in Tempe. First time ever here at the campus of Corona del Sol. Over to our left is the gym that Sammy Duane built. Sammy Duane Sr. Ackley, empty set, back to throw. Here comes the pressure, and the ball is going to be batted down at the line of scrimmage. Getting after it was Quinn Roper, and Roper all over that play. And he was in the kitchen of Connor Ackley, and Ackley had nowhere to go with the football, and Roper just too tall of a specimen to throw the ball around. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 10 possession play here for the Aztecs, working left to right.
Roper doing exactly what he's coached to do right there. As soon as he sees that quarterback, cock that arm back, get those hands up in the air, and get ready to bat that football down.
Bring in some fresh legs for Coach Ender's defense. How about number 99, Brandon Kasmerick, coming on to make some plays here. 3rd and 10 in a pass rush situation. Ackley steps through the pocket, wants to run it to 20, 25, and he gets ridden out of bounds there on a hard hit by the defender for Red Mountain, and that's Cooper Turley over there out of a cornerback spot. Went up there and laid a shoulder on Connor Ackley and separated the football from him as he went out of bounds, short of the line to gain to move the chains.
Yeah, that was a fantastic play right there. I think that was actually 8 Cooper Beecher on that one, Kev. He came over and delivered a blow on Connor Ackley, and kudos to Ackley for popping up out of that one. But kudos as well to Jonathan Kubat for the stock blocking right there for his quarterback for Corona del Sol. Great job.
Indeed, it was the other Cooper. 7 and 8. Cooper Turley wears 7. Cooper Beecher wears number 8. And this is going to be Beecher. around the edge of the 40, turns the corner, midfield 50, and gets dumped over at the 50-yard line into Aztec territory. Nice defensive play there by the Aztecs. It looked like Joseph Wallace in on the special teams tackle. 5'10", 185, he's a senior. And that is where Carter Crispin will get the football back once again. And for Red Mountain's defense, they've only allowed 3 points now in nearly 9 quarters of play here. So Coach Ender's defense really drawing it up, and these guys are responding to the X's and O's.
Well, they play really well up front, Kevin. That's where it all starts, and we'll talk about more about that Red Mountain defensive line when we go back on defense here in a little bit.
So you got Turley and Jacoby Lane stacked to the far side. Lennox Lawson by himself at the 46-yard line. And now we get the play clock reset. 19 seconds to go in the quarter. Ball is placed right at midfield on the far hash marks for Carter Crispin. Michael Mallory has checked into this ball game.
I like that matchup, L3 and Kevon Thomas.
There goes Lawson in motion. He gets the handoff, making a man miss, and then driving forward was Lennox Lawson. That could very well be the final play of our first quarter here in Tempe. It's 7-0 on the strength of a 6-yard touchdown pass from Carter Crispin to Josiah Villanueva, as Villanueva, the Typhoon, scored his 4th touchdown in as many weeks. And that will be the final play of quarter number 1. You are watching Red Mountain Football on Red Mountain TV. Stay with us on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. Georgia Line. Welcome back to Corona del Sol High School on Red Mountain TV. Kevin Derryberry alongside James Poovey. It's 7-0 Mountain Lions. Chris Andriatis was the head coach at Bourgade from 2008 to 2010.
Oh, I just missed him then because I started in 2011, the
Crispin,
year after.
Low snap, deep ball, looking for Lane. He's by himself, and the ball is overthrown. Jacoby Lane had the defender beat by about 8 yards. He was working on Kevon Thomas that time, and you thought if Jacoby Lane could run underneath this football, he's going to make the catch. He's got that kind of skills.
He's got a ton of speed, Kev, but just not enough on that play to catch up with that football that time. Crispin with a lot of air underneath that one.
It's funny because we often wonder, when are we going to see Jacoby Lane just turn on the jets? Just really go. And he just glides and looks so effortless in doing so. So Villanueva will break the huddle. He'll line up into the slot to the left, along with one of the Coopers. Jacoby Lane to the near side. There goes Villanueva in motion. The play fake to him. Crispin lost his footing. He throws near side looking for Preston Heap, and the ball's incomplete. So right now, Carter Crispin showing you a lot of arm strength, but he's just misfiring with just too much mojo right now.
It almost seems like he's not quite planting his feet solidly and being able to follow through. I'll tell you what, 31 Tristan Schaefer right there, the defender for Corona del Sol, that was the reason he got out of bed right there, was a hit like that he almost would have had if that guy had tried to hold that football in.
And Crispin actually misstepped with his plant foot and had to reposition himself. So now before they can get the ball snapped again, we get yet another penalty marker thrown here. The head linesman with this one. It appears to be in the area what could be procedure against the Mountain Lions. So the Mountain Lion offense is going to have to get things in gear here as far as the timing is concerned. Again, no Javi Pinion tonight. Shout out to Javi if you're watching tonight's game. We look forward to seeing you back in practice come Monday, and hopefully you'll be in the lineup next Friday night, and I'm sure you will be. 4th and 10 after the 5-yard loss. There goes L3 in motion. Crispin's going to punt it again, and this time he doesn't have near the effect that he did last time. This one's off the side of the foot, and it'll trickle down inside the 40-yard line. It's all about execution, but some of these plays are looking a little bit funky here. And like you say, it's how you script them up, and that was not a scripted play, to say the least, right?
If that was a scripted play, somebody is secretly shredding that piece of paper right now, Kevin, and getting rid of it. I don't know. That wasn't me that drew that one up right there, but anyway, Red Mountain's got to dig in here, and we're going to talk about that defensive line for a minute. Now, they play really well up front. They use their hands good. They get separation, get off the blocks, and they are able to – the defensive line is able to hold those offensive linemen and let those linebackers flow free and make tackles in space.
Boy, I tell you what, one of those guys that played so well last week was 40, Tanner DeMassa.
Yes.
Man-child game from him last week. Again, if you just joined us late, Skylar Edmonds is out tonight due to a targeting foul from last week, and that targeting foul occurred on his – oh, man, there goes Kubat as Kubat got to that second level, and he ran into a big-time defender for the Mountain Lions. This time it was Mav Starks waiting there for him, but Kubat delivering some punishment after that run right there. A little bit of power and then the stick at the end for Kubat.
Absolutely fantastic. Kubat, 5'10", 180, running behind the pads right there, a big head of steam, and he delivered a shot to 2 Mountain Lion defenders on that play.
Gain of 8 for Kubat, 2nd and 2 from their own 47-yard line, working right to left. They go right back to that same hole for Kubat again, and once again, he goes right up the middle on the far hash marks, again to that second level, into the third level, and he finally was brought down there after a chain-moving run for Jonathan Kubat.
I can hear it down in the Aztec huddle right there, Kevin. 22 dive once again. Let's give it to number 4. That's what they did right there, power football. The line fired off the football, drove the defensive line back for Red Mountain, and Kubat just hitting that hole.
Gain of 14 yards for Kubat, 1st and 10 for the Mountain Line, 43-yard line. Snap back to Ackley. Goes back to Kubat again, working left side this time, and not near as much real estate to work with that time. Parker McClure was over there among friends. And how about Parker McClure? 210 career tackles for him as he surpassed that mark last week in what was a phenomenal football game for him before he got concussed and left the ball game. But nice job there by McClure and DeMassa as well. Gain of 1 for Kubat.
You almost can't believe that Parker McClure didn't get concussed on the big hit before the hit that took him out of the game, Kevin.
Yeah, you're right. Trips to the far side. Ackley is going to step through the pocket. He's going to go down. He's going to be sacked by Tyler Brown. TKB, Tyler K. Brown, to get to the quarterback, give him a QB sack, and the Mountain Lion defense answers the bell right there on a much-needed pass play.
Great job right there by TKB. Gets up, uses his hands, picks his move. I believe he went with a little rip right there, got underneath the arm of the offensive lineman, through the line of scrimmage, and right there into Connor Ackerley.
It doesn't matter what position you're playing, just to deploy the dip and rip.
It's so much fun, dude.
I'm pumped up talking about it. So, yeah, loss of 5.
Ooh.
Ackley wants to set up a screen. They get it to Walker, and Walker evades the first tackle, but here come the rest of the Mountain Lion players led by Parker McClure and friends.
Here come the cavalry. Caleb Heydrich in there as well with Parker McClure. And you know those guys, it's like a wrecking ball when they come in there.
Yeah, get out of the way. That's for darn sure. You can hear those guys from a couple yards away.
Coach Pete wanted a little clarification over there on the sideline.
Clock stopped with 9:15 to go till halftime. It's 7-0 Red Mountain. Corona del Sol 0-2 on this young campaign. They were 8-0 in 2020. What a season for this football team. Outscored the opposition 311 to 109, and had a lot of really good players there. And just like anybody else, you go undefeated and you believe you belong in the Open Division, and then you go to the Open Division tournament and you realize, wow, this is a whole nother level.
Oh, is it ever. And the intensity turned up there in the playoffs naturally, and then when we got the Open Division going on, it's even more so. That last play was Parker McClure coming up there and getting a face mask call for Red Mountain.
So a tough break there on 30. As Parker has been in the penalty box the last couple of weeks. He's been nailed with a couple unsportsmanlikes. 3rd and 1 from the 34-yard line. They run it to the second man through. It looks like Jalen Walker again. And he's running behind one of the big guys, Jake Carbajal. Carball, 6'2", 285, just a junior on that left side. You talk about size, James. We go over it quite a bit each game, but you can't teach that size or that ability to be a good a run blocker, and you saw it right there in Carbajal.
Well, good run blocking, it all starts with the footwork, Kev, and those big guys up front have that natural, almost ballet-like footwork, able to move a guy and turn him on a dime and just turn around just enough, make the slightest possible movements, and allow just enough crease for that back to get through and squirt through the hole.
Coach Bechtold will take a timeout. We'll take the timeout as well. 8:38 to go till halftime from Tempe's Corona del Sol High School. Our score, Red Mountain 7, the Aztecs 0. You are watching Red Mountain Football on Red Mountain TV on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Corona del Sol High School. 7-0 Mountain Lions with the lead. 8:38 to go. Ackley takes this one under center. Play action pass. Throws right and ball's incomplete. He wanted Marcel McKay, and he was unable to connect with him. Nice job there of defending for Red Mountain that time.
Receiver had plenty of room out there in the flat, but Ackerley just threw the ball a bit too far outside, and he was unable to catch up with it.
Xavier Sanchez over there defensively in one of those DB spots for Coach Enders here. Clock stop with 8:33 to go. There is no breeze to speak of here. It is a still night here in Tempe. And as James pointed out earlier,
balmy 93.
There's a big game up the road here. So this will be a pistol formation here for Ackerley. Power set to the left. They run it left. Missing a tackle in the backfield was Damasa. And Jalen Walker again trying to find some room on the left side, and there's just none to speak of. Great job again by the Mountain Lion defense. Trey Heath over there, along with Parker McClure and Mr. Tanner Damasa. All the guys with O's on their back in there mixing things up here.
Doing a great job. Outside contain is the name of the game right now for this Red Mountain defense, and they're doing a great job keeping everything to the inside, forcing all the action back inside where they got help.
Jansen lines up to the far side. Ackley's going to roll his way. Stops. Now he's being pressured. Great block from behind the play. Ackley a little dump pass. And how about the action behind the play? If we could have a little isolation camera on the bigs doing battle here behind the play.
Oh, baby.
What a battle there going on. You had both 77s getting after each other. Jake Carbajal, and for Red Mountain, you had our 77. That is the J-Man, Jaden Hurst. These guys were just getting after it. You talk about playing to the whistle, Mr. Poovey. That's what they did just then.
If I can do the math on that, Kevin. 230 pounds plus 285 pounds. That's 515 pounds of beef in there in the middle.
Yes, that's a lot. Alex Vesey lines up to the near side. Long count for Ackley. 3 wide receivers to the far side of the field. Ackley looks right. Has time. Here comes the pressure, and he's going to go down and get sacked. Jaden Hurst in back-to-back plays in there, making it difficult on the quarterback. And you talk about roughhousing, 77, the J-Man with another sack. His second sack of the year.
They just can't block him, Kev. He's too relentless up front. He's got a motor. He gets off. He understands leverage, gets underneath the offensive lineman's pads, uses his hands very effectively, sheds the block, and then that's what you get.
How about the defense by Coach Enders, led by Michael Peterson, the head coach? These guys are playing some great football right now.
They are.
And that was a turnover on downs here, so a change of possession here for the Mountain Lions. Josiah Villanueva hustles onto the field, snaps that 10 step in place, and it's Carter Crispin. Now there goes Villanueva in motion. To the right of Crispin is Lennox Lawson. It's Lennox with the carry here. Sweep to the right, looking for the corner. Turns the corner, 50-yard line, and he's spun out inside the 46-yard line. But for Lennox Lawson, if you're going to defend him, James, you cannot rest at all. You have to continue to drive towards him and drive him to the ground and rest then. Because if you think he's down, he's not down.
He's not down. He's going to keep those legs turning. The thing about L3 is he's always falling forward. Even if he's falling, Kevin, he's going forward.
Preston Heath, the tight end, will line up to the near side. There goes Villanueva in motion. Pistol formation for Crispin. They run it again up the middle here, and there's nowhere to go for Lennox Lawson. Back there penetrating the backfield for Corona del Sol was 6'2", Matt Orthman. Orthman, 6'3", 250, had a fumble recovery last week to go along with 3 tackles.
The agility on display right there for Orthman. He did a great job of firing off the football, beating the lineman to the punch, and securing the tackle.
Loss of 2. Crispin sets it up to Villanueva. Down the sideline, 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Josiah Villanueva. 51 yards to pay dirt, and the Mountain Lions have forged ahead 13-0, extra point upcoming.
How about it? The Typhoon gets on the edge. He's almost unstoppable, Kevin. They ran the play, blocked it backside, sell it to backside. It worked to perfection. They swung it out into the flat, and once he gets into the open space, look out, baby.
Josiah Villanueva is running like he did when he was a sophomore playing for the Jays. A 1,600-yard season for them back then, and now Josiah Villanueva as the man this year, as the senior tailback, his second touchdown of the night, his second receiving touchdown of the evening, and he now has 5 touchdowns in the last 6 quarters of play here for the Mountain Lions. For Kai Evans, he drills the point after, and it is now 14-0 with 6:27 to go till halftime. How about the Typhoon, Josiah Villanueva here with the wrecking winds here on a still night.
Yes, he is. He provided a little breeze on that one right there, Kevin. We got that swing pass about midfield there right in front of us. And but you talk about that guy, he has truly become a dual threat running back. He can run on the outside like that with his speed, and we saw over the last couple games they can line it up and run him between the tackles, and he is very effective.
And what's impressive about Josiah Villanueva, he's playing with confidence. I know his teammates have been giving him the business during the offseason about what he's capable of, and even in that first week, what he could do, how he could run, how he's supposed to run. And ever since week 1, the practice habits for Villanueva have changed. The game habits have changed. Everything for Josiah Villanueva as it relates to playing football and preparing to play this game, he's changed. It's a complete metamorphosis, and you're seeing the results here on the field. Even
the number, Kev, but it's throwing me off a little bit because I'm used to seeing that 2.6, and then I see that fullback number coming out of there, 34, and you don't. 34s usually aren't that fast.
Well, he should have checked with us before he made the number change.
I agree.
But that's something we'll talk about later. Yeah. But, yeah, that is a tough one to see.
We'll talk about that at the banquet. How about that?
But when you think about some 34s, there's a couple that come to mind. But for my money, there's no comparison here. I'm just saying, I'm just talking 34. Earl Campbell is one of those 34s that I recall. Bo Jackson, another 34 I recall, and there's been a ton of others. But Josiah Villanueva making a name for himself here wearing the Red Mountain, number 34.
Yeah, a lot of great 34s in running back lore over time.
This is the 10th contest between these two teams. Red Mountain holds the all-time advantage 5-4 over Corona del Sol. The last meeting was in the playoffs of 2019. Red Mountain shellacked Corona del Sol at Red Mountain 43-14 in that game. Hiram Bourne and friends on their way to the state championship game that year to take on Liberty, a game that we broadcast for you. The Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network from Sun Devil Stadium, one that you and I will never forget. Just one of those games. But the Mountain Lions came up literally a buck short in that one. But it was just fantastic to see.
That was some kind of night over there at Sun Devil Stadium for sure.
Ackley has Jonathan Kubat behind him. Pistol formation. He's got trips to the far side. There goes the tight end in motion, and now we get another whistle. And this will be a timeout taken by Coach Bechtold and the Corona del Sol Aztecs. And James, football is kind of taken a back seat here at this program over the last few years, but the last two, Coach Bechtold has really, made some inroads to change the culture here on the gridiron. Because, over in the gyms, Sammy Duane and Sammy Duane Jr., they were just as impressive as any high school basketball program could be, winning 4 state championships in a row under Sammy Duane Jr. They named the gym after his dad, Sammy Duane Sr., but think about some guys like Alex Barcelo and Marvin Bagley III now playing in the NBA. They all came right through here at Corona del Sol High School. So a lot of tradition here on this campus.
Absolutely. They have had some hoopers here for the Aztecs. And you mentioned Coach Bechtold now going into his 3rd year with the program, really trying to raise the level of football and trying to get it up as well here with the Aztecs. And he's done a good job of that so far.
Yeah, he really has.
And he's got a young gunslinger here who's going to come along really well as well.
They like what they've seen out of him so far. There goes Peyton Bauer in motion. High snap for Ackley. Puts it into the gut of Kubat, running hard, running downhill as he breaks through the line of scrimmage and runs right into the linebacking core here of the Mountain Lions. Part of that group there was Trey Heath among friends. And another guy that you guys might be familiar with, number 30, Parker McClure. In fact, that's Dirty 30. That is the new nickname. We ran it by everybody last Saturday.
Oh, is that it?
I had kind of talked about it, but Dirty 30 is the name for number 30, and he is. And dirty in every sense of the word good.
I like it, but I'm going to give you my vote just for conversation's sake.
Well, you mentioned, I think you said the Butcher.
The Butcher.
Yeah.
I think it fits for obvious reasons.
Jonathan Kubat this time slips through a tackle on the left side, short of the line to gain here. Whistles behind the play. Let's see where they put the football down. Now we have a discussion with this crew now. Penalty marker on the play. Ackley gets the play in from Coach Bechtold as we approach the 5:02 mark of this second quarter.
Because when you play linebacker, Kev, it's all about the territory. And what you want to do from snap number 1 is you want to set the tone. Anybody that's going to come your way, you want to let them know what they're going to get when they come your way.
I like it when they get there and they get into your neighborhood, in your vicinity, if you will, your backyard, your front yard, your porch, however they like to say it. In your grill, they say all night long. I'm going to be here all night long. I love that attitude.
Yes.
From the pistol, Ackley flushed out of the pocket, evades the pass rush, throws on the run, and the ball is too tall for his intended target, Owen Jansen. Jansen had to go back just a little bit, try to haul that one in, but great pressure applied by Red Mountain, and Parker McClure was on the hunt there in that pass rush.
A lot of guys for the Mountain Lions on the hunt on that one right there, and that's what you love to see. The relentlessness of this defense on the hunt is exactly what keeps them in these ball games and helps them, as you mentioned, only give up 3 points now going into almost 2.5 ball games.
4:46 to go, 14-0, surfs up. It's Cooper Beecher back at his 50-yard line. It's a short punt, and Mav Starks sees the ball carrying by him and says, I'm getting out of Dodge right now. As everybody just took a right turn to the far sideline there. They let that ball fall where it may be, and that is where Carter Crispin will go back to work again. Ball will be spotted they'll put it down at the 46-yard line. Working left to right, 4:38 till halftime here. Red Mountain with a couple of touchdown passes from Carter Crispin. He now has 8 on this season through 3 games. Both of those going to Josiah Villanueva. So 5 tutties in 2 games for the Typhoon.
Impressive.
There goes Jacoby Lane in motion. Wearing number 5. And this time he gets the ball at the 40. And he'll be dropped down about the 40. He got the ball around midfield, made one move, got to the 45-yard line in about 0.2 of a second, started to get to the 40-yard line, and then Slater Rubio came up there, Rubio came over there to make the tackle there. But I thought we were going to see Jacoby finally turn on the jets and get in full stride there, but we've yet to see it.
But like you say, you can't tell when it's actually happening. It's a deceptive speed, Kev.
Crispin rolls to the far side. He has a man. The ball's caught by Cooper Turley as he moves up the sideline inside the 30-yard line now. Nice throw and a nice catch there. Carter Crispin to Cooper Turley there. Just an easy play there.
They make it look real easy. They get the speed. The best thing about this Red Mountain offense, and especially under the direction of Coach Mike Peterson, is they play to their strengths, Kev. They use their weapons, and they do it very well.
Yes, they do. Gain of 11, Crispin to Cooper Turley. Play fake for Crispin. This could be a double pass. Jacoby Lane wants to throw the ball. He does, and the ball's caught by Lennox Lawson, and he'll take it into the end zone and score a touchdown. Pater pops, touchdown, Mountain Lions on the double pass. Jacoby Lane to Lennox Lawson.
Let's go to the replay. I'm just kidding. That was fantastic right there, Kevin. What a play. Designed to perfection, executed to perfection. It all starts up front with the blocking. You can't have any run through if you're going to have all that action in the backfield, and Red Mountain pulled it off. Beautiful.
Hey, you got to love the play calling for Bargy because they set that play up on the previous run by Jacoby Lane. They go back that same way, but this time he stops and throws a bullet pass down the field, and there was a wide open Lennox Lawson. How many times have they done that growing up on the triple pass? Crispin to Jacoby Lane to Lennox Lawson. Again, these kids have been playing tackle football since the 5th grade. They know what each other's going to do.
You know, that could have been one of the first plays they actually ever ran together back in the day. Who knows? But you can tell the chemistry with these kids is unmatched.
Kai Evans drills the point after try. 3:30 to go till halftime. Our new score, the Mountain Lions 21, the Aztecs 0. James had asked me if there would be a running clock in this one in the fourth quarter, and I said absolutely not. I gave Coach Bechtold a ton of credit. I thought that they would really be a good matchup here coming out of that East Valley region, taking on the Red Mountain Lions. But what we can say about Mike Peterson's football team is that they're playing well. They're playing together. That ambush mentality that we talk about in some cases, and they're getting it done in all three phases. The kicking game that showed up here tonight, they're getting it done. And then you continue to get great play out of your defense, posting yet another shutout. And, wow, man, they're just calling a great game. And I love the creativity on the play calling for Coach Barge.
Yeah, they're not afraid to try something new. And, obviously it's a great position to do so. You're up 21-0. You can experiment a little bit. Maybe
playing with house money, as
pull
they
a little
say?
trickeration out of the bag, if you will. Exactly. House money all day long, especially here in the second quarter.
Jansen on the return. Started inside, bounces it out to the boundary, and is going to be ridden out of bounds there. A trio of tacklers over there for the Mountain Lions. And helping people up right now for Red Mountain was Xavier Sanchez and friends. So Connor Ackley back out onto the field, chasing 3 touchdowns and 3 extra points here with 3:23 to go. If you're Coach Bechtold, what do you want to try to do here? Down by 21, James.
You simply got to put something on the board here going into halftime, Kev. You do not want to go in with a shutout, 21-0. It's not a pleasant conversation. 21-7 is not very pleasant either, but it's definitely better than 21-0.
Jeff Lambert lines up to the near side with no safety help over the top. Ackley back to throw, looking left all the way. He fires on the slant caught by Lambert at the 30. Breaks out of a tackle, still on his feet, down the sideline, 40. And he'll be drug out of bounds near midfield. Hanging on for dear life was Mav Starks. But that second and third effort there by that man they call Lambert, doing a great job there shedding tacklers.
Hey, it's all about keeping those legs churning, and Lambert did a great job on that there. He just refused to go down, Kev, kept pumping the legs, using his arms, fighting off the defenders, and he paid off big time that time for the Aztecs.
Nice pass play, Connor Ackerley to Jeff Lambert, by far their best and most productive play of the evening. 3 wide receivers to the far side of the field. For Ackley, he'll take the snap, puts it into the hands of Kubat, and Kubat right over midfield takes it into Red Mountain territory. They'll put it down around the 48-yard line. Nice gain there by Kubat, a gain of about, we'll call it 6. Nice run right there.
So Kubat, you wouldn't call him a small running back, right? At 5'10", 180?
No, not at all. He's a good-sized kid.
Obviously, we're where he's up here from our vantage point, but he is running up against some big kids, and he is doing it fearlessly.
Ackley, quick snap back, throws to the far side, making a move, and out across the line to gain was their wide receiver this time. Making the reception was the 6-foot senior Alex Vesey. So Vesey makes a nice play as Caleb Heydrich comes over there to make the stop on Vesey. Ackley has the play call to the huddle. Joining him in the huddle is Kevon Thomas.
Well, if you're Coach John Bechtold right here, it's all about crawling before you walk, and that's what they want to do. Start getting first downs. First downs start leading to touchdowns and scores, and get your ball club off the schneid here.
Ackley back to throw. 5-step drop, flushed out, works to the far side. He winds up, throws the deep ball, and the ball is going to be caught inside the 10-yard line at the 5 by Crew Swearingen, and they're going to say he dropped the football. Crew Swearingen, the intended target, he was wide open. That ball was thrown past the secondary. Great delivery of the football by Connor Ackley, and it was Swearingen who just couldn't haul it in. In fact, for Swearingen, he's the younger brother of Quaid, who was the starting quarterback here a year ago.
A little bit more action in the backfield that time, Kev. You probably were following the football, but bearing down right in the face of Connor Ackley that time was number 8, Cooper Beecher, and he laid a shot on him as he blasted him out of bounds on the far side.
That is phenomenal, and you are exactly right. For some reason, this broadcaster was following the football. I mean, it sounds odd, but that's exactly what happened. And when you can go follow the ball and then go ISO somewhere else, boy, I tell you what, that is nifty. And there's been a time or two here on this broadcast where we've seen plays out in front, and then we've seen action behind the play, too. That's good stuff right there.
I've been waiting to give a shout-out to Bushnell on these for a couple of seasons now, Kev. The extra-wide 900-degree binoculars. If you are a football broadcaster, these are an absolute must. You can see the entire play in one view without having to, track something and then go back and try to look what's happening behind the play. You can see it all.
Phenomenal. So 1:51 to go to the intermission. It's 21-0. Lions have the lead. 3 touchdown passes for Red Mountain, 2 from Carter Crispin, 1 from Jacoby Lane. There goes Kubat with a big hole up the middle, and Kubat just picking him up and putting him down. He runs very low to the ground, and we talk about it before, like a cannonball shot out of a cannon. He runs so low to the ground, and it's difficult to find a spot of his body where you want to tackle. If you don't get him at his ankles, you're not going to get him down.
Well, you're not even going to he's not even letting you get to those ankles. That's the whole point. He keeps those pads low and just runs you over. He got 7 yards that time, Kevin, after first contact.
That was a burst of 10, 1st and 10 from their own 31-yard line for Connor Ackley. Kubat to the left. Fake it to him this time. Roll to the near side. Ackley throws on the run, and the ball is going to be incomplete. His target was Alex Vesey. So you saw the arm strength there from Connor Ackley. He's got a nice arm. But that time, just a little bit too much smoke on that football, and Vesey didn't even have a chance.
That's a tough play right there for the quarterback. Rolling to his left, a right-handed quarterback trying to flip the hips there at the very end and fire that football down the field. A tough play right there for the sophomore quarterback.
No doubt about it. That was a tough throw to convert on. 2nd and 10 from the 31-yard line. As we play on here in the second quarter, 1:12 to the break. Kubat remains in, flank to the left of Ackley. He gets the call here. And Kubat, before you can even get going, he's in that second level. Right through the line of scrimmage into the secondary, and it's the secondary responsible to bring back the big fella, Jonathan Kubat. 5'10", 180 it says, but he looks like he's every bit closer to 190, 195, James.
He runs like he's about 205, Kev. You saw number 16, Mav Starks, right there on defense for Red Mountain. He looked like he was sticking hands into a buzzsaw and pulled them out in a hurry there because here comes the big fella running through there with a big head of steam, Kubat. Every
now and then you'll get a little Olay down there. They run it again to Kubat, and he gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Meeting him on contact was Parker McClure. And what a play right there by that Mike Backer for Coach Enders. You talk about coaching up defense and then just going out there and playing defense. You had them both happen on the same play.
Absolutely. If there's anybody that can slow down the Kubat train, it's Parker McClure, number 30.
Can you imagine your Coach Enders in that huddle at some point and say, hey, you just give him the look like, dude, we need you. Dude. We need to make a play. And he's so smooth and stylish, this Parker McClure. Dirty 30 is like, Coach, I got you. He's like, Coach, I got you. And he goes out there and puts a stick on Kubat right there. That's just awesome. 33 seconds to go till the intermission as the timeout is taken here on the field. We're looking for Kevin McCabe. So if Caber's out there, we're looking to have Caber on the broadcast here at halftime. We extend the invitation there via Twitter.
Let's text him and see if he'll come up here and see us. Why don't we, right?
I don't even know if Caber's here right now.
Well, he might be. If he's not here, maybe he's watching on Red Mountain TV, possibly.
There's a good chance of that.
Maybe so.
I'm sure he's on the gridiron.
Maybe he's over at Hamilton.
He's on the gridiron set. I can't imagine that Caber,
Oh, that's right.
the
He's
dean,
at the.
would be missing this game here against an East Valley Power.
He's
looking
on
to go 3-0.
He's on the west side of the night over at Willow Canyon.
Yeah, probably made a scheduling gaffe there, James.
Possibly.
So Ackley back out on the field. The right-handed
21-0
signal
though,
caller. He's got 3 wide receivers to the near side. Ackley back to throw. Scans the field. Now he's going to tuck it and run to the boundary, and he gets drilled out of bounds. Parker McClure over there on the hunt, and he drilled Connor Ackley out of bounds, but it was after Ackley was able to gain the line to move the sticks. 1st and 10, Corona del Sol.
Unbelievable. Great job of finishing. That's what Parker McClure is known for, and he made sure to finish that play right there. Don't take any chances that guy might squeak his way back in bounds. Make sure he goes out.
After that hit last week, that pop he put on the tailback, I remember texting him saying, hey, Parker, dirty 30. For me, for my money, you are box office, my friend. That play right there to ride out the quarterbacks was just that box office. Outstanding football play. Ackley back to throw. Looks left. Fires left, and the ball is incomplete at the 10-yard line. He wanted Jansen there. As Jansen saying, hey, get me the football on target. I make that play, but Jansen sold out and unable to bring that ball in. Owen Jansen, a nice effort there, but just couldn't bring it in. Another errant throw here in this case.
It's unfortunate for Corona del Sol because the receivers are in great position on the DBs, and the ball is just right there or almost right there, but just out of reach, unfortunately, for the Aztecs, and they've lost a lot of completions on the field here tonight.
Perhaps the sophomore quarterback playing with some nerves here in a big game against an East Valley Power in the Red Mountain Mountain Lions. Ranked 14th in the most recent 6A rankings. Pump fake for Ackley. He's flushed out of the pocket. Here comes McClure. He throws, and the ball's incomplete. Parker McClure applying pressure. And now they're going to give McClure and I tell you what, and that right there is just going to absolutely boil over Coach Enders. There's just no need for that. McClure got to the quarterback, and then on his way up, he had something to say about something. To the lines of again, I'll be here all day, son. All day. And the official had to flag him for that, and that's going to cost Red Mountain 15 yards, unnecessary, and that's a tough break. You
don't think it was meet me at the IHOP off the 101 for a little late-night breakfast after the game tonight? It probably wasn't that, I imagine.
He could have said, listen, I got you if you want to meet us at Cane's later on. But right now, I'll be back. I'll be back, Connor. And so now I saw Coach Enders grab his player and threw him off the field, and that's tough to do when you want to ask Parker McClure to leave the field, but that was silly.
It's called the pulmonary embolism, Kev, and I could see it brewing up right there in Coach Enders, unfortunately, because he was hot on that one.
Boy, you know what? For all of you doctors and all of you people out there in the health world, we're going to have to try another one on comparison there. Pulmonary embolism, that one didn't work, James.
That didn't.
I'll tell you why after the break there. Tough one for me personally, but I don't know what the discussion is here. It looked like a penalty on Parker McClure. It was a no-brainer. They talked it over, but going back
aneurysm was the call I was looking for. My mistake.
Okay. The
wrong condition.
Think about this. This Red Mountain defense is posting another donut without arguably one of their better players in Skylar Edmonds.
A great point. One of the main cogs in the defense, Edmonds, number 27, not in the ballgame tonight, but the rest of the team still rising to the occasion here and pitching a shutout with 14 seconds left in the first half.
Trips to the near side. Ackley back to throw. Has the time. Steps up in the pocket. Here comes the pressure, and he's going to go down. No, he's not going to go down. He throws, and the ball is going towards the end zone, and it's incomplete. Boy, you talk about slow motion. Boy, we could have counted at 10 for what Connor Ackley was going to do, and there was a defender coming in there in a hurry, and it looked like the defender just kind of, the big fella, Jaden Hurst, it didn't look like he wanted anything to do with Ackley. It looks like he was just coming in there
What he didn't want to do with is another conversation from Coach Enders is what he didn't want after he just saw a minute ago.
Could very well be. A little apprehensive.
I'm going to pull up right here.
A little apprehensive, as they say. Hustling off the field is Jeff Lambert. So this looks like to be a field goal situation for Johnny Bechtold with 4 seconds to go to the break. It will be a 40-yard attempt for their place kicker. It looks to be Karsten Kiefer, an all-region performer. The kick is on the line, and it is no good. Set up on the far hash, angle to the right, trying to bring that kick across to the left side, and that one went wide left. Tough break there as we hit triple zeros here in Tempe, Arizona, on the campus of Corona del Sol High School. To the break we go. Our score, Red Mountain 21, the Aztecs from CDS 0. Stay with us for all of our halftime festivities. Coming up next, you are watching Red Mountain Football on Red Mountain TV on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Corona del Sol High School. It's halftime here where the Mountain Lions lead it 21-0. I'm Kevin Derryberry alongside James Poovey on Red Mountain TV. And we are ready to commence the second half. Back deep for the Mountain Lions, Lennox Lawson and Cooper Beecher. It'll be Beecher out of his own end zone to the 30, 40, 50, by himself. No one in front of him. All clean air. 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown. Red Mountain penalty marker on the field. All kinds of flags on the field here.
Kevin, if that stands, that's a 98-yarder.
Yeah. This one's coming back, though.
Oh.
I don't even know that the players were ready to go.
We don't think they were.
Everyone was like in slow motion, including the broadcaster.
Half the crowd still at the concession stand down there right now.
For Cooper Beecher, that was more than likely one of the easier returns he's ever had in his career. Practice, Jays, freshman, practice squad, it doesn't matter. There was nobody there to tackle him. And that's something you would expect Lennox Lawson to do. But how about the beach? Cooper Beecher showing you some speed. Little sizzle down the sideline.
He's having a game tonight out here, Kev. He's doing it on defense, laying the wood, and then tries to house someone there on the special teams unit.
Let's give you our AIA officiating crew here tonight. The referee is Brad Broyles. Our umpire is Mike Payne. The head linesman is Sam Bradford, not to be confused with the former Oklahoma quarterback, Sam Bradford. The line judge is Nick Saramelli, and our back judge is Andrew Zembruski. Crisp into the air, and he's looking for Jacoby Lane, and Jacoby Lane running a fly pattern, looked up at the last second, and that ball just clipped his outstretched fingertips. As Jacoby Lane has a little word for the Aztec bench heading back to the huddle. So Josh Bard's dialed up a bomb for the first offensive play of this second half. It goes incomplete. 3 touchdowns in the first half from Carter Crispin. And now they run it to Crispin to the far side. He stops, he throws over the middle field, and the ball's incomplete. Threw behind the intended target. Applying pressure for the Aztecs was Matt Orthman. Penalty markers come flying in. This could be a late hit on the quarterback, James.
Yeah, that's going to be assessed to number 62 for Corona del Sol. He was in the face that time of Carter Crispin. Matt Orthman in there, 6'3", 250, but unfortunately for the Aztecs, that's going to get a foul.
Now, I don't know if you remember the late, great Lakers broadcaster. His name was Chick Hearn.
Do I ever?
Tremendous broadcaster. He used to come up with the old cosmetic call, the old makeup call, and that's just interesting that you get the Cooper Beecher return called back, and then you get that play right there. The next play, you get a hit on the quarterback in the backfield, good for 15 yards and a first down. Crispin back to directing the offense. Little delay there for Lennox Lawson, and there's nowhere to go this time. Pressure up front there by Nathan Cormier Ward and company. Cormier Ward had a nice first half, a couple of tackles for him. 11:15 to go in this third quarter, just underway, second half, 21-0 Red Mountain. They continue to post the shutout.
So far for this Aztec defense, it looks like they've made a few adjustments here at halftime. They're getting into the backfield a little bit more here, a little bit more run through this Red Mountain offensive line.
Perhaps trying to make Carter Crispin feel a little bit uncomfortable. There goes Villanueva. Now he splits far to the left now in the slot. Crispin out of the pistol formation. Slaps his hands, puts the ball in the hands of Lennox Lawson with some speed. And Lennox got taken out by the turf monster. Those feet are so quick that he lost his footing there as he tried to make a move. A little shoulder dance to the left, come back to the right, and they lost his footing. The turf monster got Lennox Lawson, and more than likely just took away a chance at a big touchdown run.
That turf monster has probably had 50 solo tackles this season alone, Kevin,
We're
only into week 3.
We have seen a lot, no doubt. Gain of 9 for L3. 3rd and 1 from their own 48-yard line. Aztecs showing blitz. Here they come. They run it to Lawson to the corner, and he'll lower the shoulder, a little dip and rip on the sidelines, and he'll go out of bounds as he is taking on all comers there, delivering punishment, was Lennox Lawson. Over there for the Aztecs, making things difficult. Once again, Cormier Ward over there. He's a big dude, number 47, an all-region performer out of the East Valley region last season.
Ward's a player. They had an edge blitz on that time, did Corona del Sol, and Villanueva, a great job picking up the blitz there on the edge from Jovan Gomez.
Gain of 5. 3 wide receivers now for Crispin. They run another sweep. This time it's Lennox Lawson as he turns the corner on the far hash marks. Lowers the pads and looks for contact, and that contact came over in the name of Tristan Schaefer. So Schaefer over there from that free safety position went over there to stop a 4-yard gain there for Lennox Lawson. That was quite the collision.
How about L3 lowering his center of gravity on that one right there? 155 pounds, but, man, he plays a little bigger than that.
Yeah, I think he's closer to 160, 165. Here's Crispin on a play fake. He throws out in the flat, and the ball is caught right around the 33-yard line. Making his first reception of the year for the Mountain Lions was, it says Grayson Olson, but we'll double-check that. Gannon Lyles remains out, and that was indeed Grayson Olson, his first catch of the season right there. And a nice ball, good delivery of the football by Carter Crispin.
A great check down there for Crispin. You could see him going through his progressions on that play, found the open man, and delivered a strike.
Gain of 11 for Olson, and he showed toughness. Back to the ground game here with a slight hole up the middle. Red Mountain finding some success in the middle of the line of scrimmage. The ball carrier was Josiah Villanueva, working on a 2-touchdown contest. 5 tutties in 2 weeks for 34 Josiah Villanueva. Gain of 4 that time.
54 Evan Lenz in there in that 3 technique, doing a great job down there for Corona del Sol. He got in there and disrupted that play for the Aztecs.
Lenz, an all-region second-team performer last year. 6-foot senior, Mr. Evan Lenz. Crispin long count. There goes Mallory out to the far side. They run a screen back to Jacoby Lane. Makes a move at the 25-yard line, and it'll be wrestled to the turf, approaching the 20-yard line. Penalty marker comes in. Tackle made by Evan Lenz. Back-to-back plays for 54. John Gomez was also over there. And JP, you think he was a little bit wordy, huh?
Yeah, I think it was another Thanksgiving invitation being handed out right there on the near sideline, Kevin, because the referee said a little bit too much smack talk for our liking.
You think it's Thanksgiving already? I know it is early, but in fact, everything is early. If you go to the mall, or
they've already
Macy's,
got Christmas stuff.
They've got the decorations out there. They're selling Halloween costumes at Costco, so apparently it is a thing.
And we're still sweating like crazy up here.
8:10 to go with a clock stop, and the clock is stopped because our officials are once again conversing, trying to get the calls correct here for these two teams.
If we weren't doing a game on Halloween, Kev, which we sometimes or usually are, at least over the past couple of years, what would you be dressed up as? What would you go as this year?
Oh, boy, you're talking about putting a guy on the spot, man. What would my costume be? Woo! Can I answer that one here in a minute?
Yeah, no pressure.
I was going to tell you,
no
this
rush.
is the first time that we don't have a game on Halloween in a couple of years.
Yeah, I know.
So, I would check with your kids first. I'd see what Brecken's going to roll out with. Then I'd see what Jordan's got going on. And then if Dally and I are on the same page, maybe I wear what Dally's going to wear.
I'm glad you said Dally, because guess what Dally wants to be for Halloween?
Superman.
A football player.
Oh, does he really?
Yes, he does. I got to get him that Hutch, that old Hutch set of stuff, the jersey and the whole bit.
Out of kid.
Yeah, buddy.
There goes Lane in motion. He comes back for the football. Is he going to throw it again? Lane off his back foot. He throws towards the end zone, and he overthrows the receiver. Looking for Preston Heat. Penalty marker down. And for whatever reason, Coach Barge with another razzle-dazzle on the play call here. And in Coach Barge's defense, for whatever reason, the secondary is just not being responsible with their coverages here for the Aztecs, as Red Mountain literally can take any kind of chance they want over the top, and there's no defense right now.
Speed kills what it is, Kevin, and they're just simply outrunning the defensive backs, getting the play call from Coach Barge and just going towards the goal line area, and they're just outrunning these DBs for Corona del Sol right now.
Little trickeration once again, but Jacoby Lane with his second pass attempt of the night. He's 1 for 2 here tonight. Penalty moves them back past the 30-yard line. We'll call it the 31. Long count for Crispin, and again, more penalties. And the snap count, procedure assessed to Red Mountain. And this would be a great question for Coach Barge, Coach Peterson, just what the Sam Hill's going on up here, why we have so many false starts as Villanueva will give way here, along with Jacoby Lane.
When they talk about this in film, Kevin, tomorrow, it will be referred to as mental mistakes. That's all that is up front. You get weak and you get tired, and then you can't think and you can't be mentally strong, and that's a big part of this game called football.
Max Bray has moved to the left side. Rudy Robertson's on the right side with Giles in the center. Nico O'Neill's the left guard. And then you got Josh McElroy and Houston Hill taking turns. Full wide receivers now for Carter Crispin. They give it to Mallory. Mallory bounce it on a little jump cut there as he runs in between the hash marks and the numbers, but just a forward progress run there by Michael Mallory. And we know Mallory has that breakaway speed, and you know they always want to look for that one route or that one hole they can take at the distance. But Michael Mallory just took what they gave him that time and got positive yardage running downhill.
That's all the kid does, just continue to get positive yardage a la Josiah Villanueva, just always going forward, Kevin.
Low snap for Crispin. He throws on the run, and the ball is caught far sideline. There was more movement up front, no call this time. Making the catch is Tavion Sewing, the freshman, makes the reception there. For Sewing, he has one catch on the season. Before that, it was a 50-yard touchdown run.
Sewing is a guy to keep your eyes on as he progresses here throughout this Red Mountain football program. He might be a diamond in the rough, Kev.
Boy, you got to love his speed, and as far as learning how to play the game, he's just beginning to learn how to play this game. Grayson Olson is in motion. Crispin back to throw. Over to Olson, and Olson stopped his route. So Red Mountain's offense here, a little bit sputterish here to begin the second half as the clock stops again with 7:23 to go in the third quarter, and that will bring up what looks to be a field goal situation here for the Mountain Lions, trying to add on their 21-0 lead.
It reminds me of back in the, I say old days now, Kev, when you had to choke on a car and you had to just pull it out and it was kind of just sputtering a little bit. Same sort of deal right here. We got to pull the choke on this thing. Let's go.
What was that, like a Volvo or something?
Yeah. A Saab.
This would be a 44-yard attempt for Kai Evans out of the Cody Hall hole. The snap is back. The hold is down. Evans comes through, and this one's going to be a little bit short. He left that one short by about 10 to 12 yards. So the Aztecs dodge a Mountain Lion bullet here. 7:18 to go on the change of possession. The Aztecs will come back onto the field with Connor Ackley. Down by 3 touchdowns here. And James, go back to being coach. If you're Johnny Bechtold, what was the message at halftime for your Aztecs?
Well, they've got to switch things up. They got to turn up the intensity on defense, which they've done so far, at least from what we've seen here in the first 4 minutes plus here of the third quarter. But offensively, they've got to just continue the game plan. They've got to continue to get Ackerley the snaps, get him the reps. It's all about the reps, especially here at the varsity level, especially as a sophomore. And he's just got to continue to be able to come to the line, see the different looks on defense he's going to get, and be able to adjust to those and hopefully have the right play call on.
And hopefully they got that word. So it's Connor Ackley.
Connor's got us on in the helmet down there.
He's got Jalen Walker flanked to his left. 3 wide receivers to the right side. Ackley to the air. Ball is thrown out there, and it's caught by Lambert. Sheds the first tackler, then falls forward past the 25-yard line. Ryan Grosscloss up there defensively with a stop for the Mountain Lions. That is his 3rd assist of the night here as Connor Ackley completes that pass. Good for 6 yards to 25, and that's Jeff Lambert.
An outstanding open field tackle that time for Ryan Grosscloss.
Gain of 6. Here comes Ackley. Looks over the line of scrimmage. Long count for him. Takes the snap. They run it up the middle again. It's back to Kubat. And Kubat's going to find that crease. Double check that. No, beg your pardon. They go back to Jalen early. So we haven't seen Kubat here in the second half yet. So it's Jalen Walker. That first little burst looked like it was.
It did. That's why
Kubat. That's why I went that way for Jonathan, JK.
But then you see that size right there, KDB, 220 pounds for the 6'1" senior Jalen Walker.
So they're trying to use Walker to wear down this front seven of the Mountain Lions, and all I can say about that is good luck. And here they come again. They go right back to the point of contact, and the front four is as stiff as they have been all night.
An absolute car crash right
Heydrich.
there in the middle between the running back number 7 for Corona del Sol, Jalen Walker, and Tanner DeMassa.
Tanner D and Caleb Heydrich also over there in the vicinity. But you talk about a collision. That was 3 yards, and Mr. Walker earned every bit of that here. Now in a 3-wide receiver package here for Ackley, all of them to the wide side of the field on the near side. Ackley with some time now. He's flushed out of the pocket. Here comes the pressure. It's Jaden Hurst, and he'll throw on the run. There's nobody home. He wanted Lambert on a crossing route, but the J-man, number 77, Jaden Hurst, all over Connor Ackley there. Give him another pressure and give him a hurry. So it'll bring up 3rd and 7 from their own 35-yard line for the Aztecs. Ball spotted on the 35 on the far hash mark. Ackley gets the play and will run in and relay it to the huddle.
And we have gotten some inside information. Luckily, we're sitting next to number 4, Jonathan Kubat's father, and we just got word that he is possibly going through concussion protocol right now, Kevin.
Yeah, we could tell he's being looked at on the sidelines there. Big play here for Ackley. Possession play, back to throw, looking left, has time, fires, and the ball is incomplete. It was over the target, Jansen. Owen Jansen was the intended target. The closest receiver there to make a play on it was Jeff Lambert, and the ball was just overthrown. Once again, Caleb Heydrich all over that play. Double fours.
4-4 was right there. I thought he might have himself an INT on that one if he'd have just looked up about a half a second earlier.
And he did last week. He darn near had himself a pick 6, did Caleb last week.
That's right.
So the clock stops with 5:16 to go in this third quarter. Our score remains 21-0, Red Mountain. Punting situation here. Booming punt. And going back to get it is Beecher. Beecher puts the brakes on. Looking for a block to the near side. Gets that block. Turns the corner to the 30, 35, 40. Down the sideline, 45, 50. He's open again, 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Cooper Beecher. Another house call. This one via the punt return. And how many times have you seen it? One player returned 2 kicks in a quarter, both of them to be called back due to blocks in the back. Oh, my. You talk about a heartbreaker. Cooper Beecher, my goodness.
It's unfortunate, Kev, because even being up 21-0, it still doesn't hurt any less.
Just stinging. What a run there by Beecher. Great blocking there on the – and I don't know where the block came from because as soon as he turned the corner, he got a great block right there. You call it an edge seal block. It was perfect. And I don't know where that flag came in. I think they got hosed on that one.
They say illegal shift.
Illegal shift? I don't think so. Wrong call for that. No, doesn't work.
Anyway, that was a great job there by number 2, Ryan Grosskloss, coming up and sealing that edge as you just talked about. He got his hands in there for half a second, Kev, but I don't think it was long enough to necessitate a flag.
No chance. That was
anyway.
A tough call right there. Tough call. So Carter Crispin back out on the field. Now the other Cooper, one Cooper's getting some oxygen on the sideline. The other Cooper's ready to play. Cooper Turley lines up to the far side. And before we can get going, the Mountain Lions want to talk things over. And with that being said, we'll talk things over as well. 4:54 to go in this third quarter. Our score, the Mountain Lions 21, the Aztecs 0. You're watching Red Mountain Football on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Corona del Sol High School. I don't know if you guys remember the movie Airplane back in the day, but there's a scene when the pilot, the guy that got a smoking ticket to Chicago and parked his car. Robert Wagner, I don't know if that's the right actor, but he was in the plane and buckets of water. He's just perspiring so much. It's just buckets of water. That's what it feels like here in Tempe at Corona del Sol High School. They run it again to Lennox Lawson, and Lennox is literally high-stepping, and he's able to just lift his legs past would-be tacklers down low.
Got that football high and tight as well right there. Does Lennox Lawson running through traffic and using those drills that you work on in practice where you alternate from the football hand to hand and try to keep your balance and make sure you got the wherewithal to do so in the football game. And Lennox Lawson with all the ability and the change of direction on display right there.
Gain of 3, make it gain of 9 for 13. L3. He gets the call again. Big hole up the middle as he lunges towards the 35-yard line. Nathan Cormier Ward up there with a tackle. For Cormier Ward, he had 41 tackles last year on that 8-0 team before they lost to Hamilton in the Open Division playoff. But for Cormier Ward, he's the leading returning tackler from last year's squad. Wears 47. Good-looking player, great size. Has all those tools and intangibles that you look for in a football player. And he's tough, too. So Carter Crispin will send Villanueva in motion. 2-back set behind or right next to Crispin. It's Lennox Lawson again, and Lennox on that little sweep, little counter play, runs off the left tackle behind the left guard that time, and he just carves off 5 yards right there before you even have any idea he's in that second level.
He's so fast. That burst is you almost can't even follow it, especially if he's able to get to the outside and get to the edge. He is able to get to about fifth gear in a hurry.
You know who I'm talking about? The guy, is it Robert? Robert, is the actress, his wife on the show was Elaine. He's trying to see Elaine.
I think so. Yes.
And, it's the movie where they're like, we got to get this woman to a hospital. A hospital? What is it? It's a big building with patients, but that's not important right now. All those kind of corny jokes. I think that was Frank Drebin, Leslie Nielsen, who was the doctor on that plane.
Yes.
Great movie. You might recall Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Lou Alcindor was one of the pilots.
Wow.
In there.
You're going way back now. I think that's 76, I want to say, on that movie.
Going to the 70s, huh? I saw it 10 times, so I'm pretty familiar with it. But I think it's Robert Wagner. I'm not sure if that's who it is. Hey, if you guys are movie buffs, help us out. Who was the pilot trying to save the day in the movie Airplane? Robert Guillaume? I don't think so, but Elaine was the lady he was looking for. Here it's 21-0. It's the third quarter, and they go back to Lennox Lawson. James, are you surprised that Lennox is getting this kind of action as the tailback?
I am surprised, and I'm kind of surprised that I'm surprised they're running him into so much traffic right there, Kevin. That is the franchise, for lack of a better term, right now for this Red Mountain football team, and sort of the future. And so just a little bit curious as to why they're running him into the massive humanity there in the middle of the football field. And I'd like to see him get out there on the edge where he can make a play.
Yeah, in space. I want to put 13 in space. That's where he does most of his damage. 3rd down and 1, although he's doing some damage on this drive, isn't he?
He is.
Crispin to the ground game for Lennox Lawson. Big hole up the middle. Goodbye. 40, 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Lennox Lawson. For Lennox, a 50-yard run for another touchdown for Lennox Lawson.
How about it? The speed.
And that's why he keeps getting the ball, because he's ready to pop one like that.
Well, it's zone blocking up front for the Mountain Lions. They just cover up the man. You're taught as an offensive lineman, get your hands on him and just steer him whichever way he wants to go. If he wants to go right, you take him right. If he wants to go left, you go left, and let the back find the hole. And you got a guy like that with that much speed,
man,
you can't do anything about that if you're a defender.
Lennox
just watch
Lawson
him go by.
Turning on the afterburners right there. There was a little turbo in there, and goodbye.
That's the basketball equivalent of getting posterized right there, Kev.
I was trying to figure out where they actually had the line marker. I want to say that was good for 55 yards unofficially, but Lennox Lawson with some breakaway speed, death-defying speed, that will definitely crush the spirits of anybody you're playing here. And after the Kai Evans point after try is good, 2:45 to go in this third quarter. The Lions now up 28-0, and they're getting it done with Carter Crispin through the air and in the ground game now here in the second half.
Look for more power football here. Obviously, the Mountain Lions, when they get the football back on offense, they're going to want to pound the rock. I'm looking for more Josiah V in the way of a power football between the tackles.
When you go back to Lennox Lawson, a 70-yard touchdown gallop last week against the Mesa Jackrabbits, and then a 50-plus yarder here tonight against Corona del Sol. Lennox Lawson has proven to be big play, as is his teammate Jacoby Lane.
Yes, I want to see Lane get a few more shots down the field and see him use some of that burst of speed as well.
All the while, Cooper Beecher has had 2 kicks returned for touchdowns, one a punt and one a kickoff, and none of them have accounted for anything. On the return, Jansen again to midfield, still on his feet, spins out of traffic, and then just gets leveled by a trio of Mountain Lions special teams tacklers on the play. But a nice run there by Owen Jansen, by far their best and most productive play of the evening here for the Aztecs.
That should hopefully light a spark, at least under the special teams unit for Corona del Sol, and a great job there on the edge for number 31, Tristan Schaefer, on that return. That's how you bury a guy on special teams right there.
We continue to keep our eyes peeled for Jonathan Kubat, but Kubat appears to remains out here. It's Jalen Walker, the tailback here. It's once again we get a stop and play. And now the uniform cops will come out, and they're going to ask Jalen Walker to tuck in a shirt.
Help me with that, will you? There we go.
And that's part of the deal. I totally respect that. It's part of the deal. It's part of the rules, right?
Sure,
but
sure.
Let's get that done on the sideline here when it's not 95 degrees outside. First and 10 from the Mountain Line 45-yard line. They go to Walker as Walker finds a little daylight up the middle, lowers the shoulders, dips those pads, and picks up extra yardage there. A fine run on the interior by Jalen Walker. Caleb Hedrick with the tackle for Red Mountain. A gain of 6. That was one of those low-to-the-ground runs again by the big fellow this time. The 6'1", 220-pounder in Jalen Walker. Very different style than Kubat.
Absolutely different style. He's a bruiser by nature, and now I'm looking for Corona to run the football here and maybe set up a shot down the field.
Walker runs right, cuts it back inside, and somehow or another he's still on his feet inside the 30-yard line down the far sideline, and he finally gets tripped up. Matt Starks was over there along with Trey Heath and friends. Good defense there by Coach Anders' group. Keep an eye on the health of this football team. And right now I don't see Parker McClure out here in the second half, and it's a 28-0 lead. So
I am just fine with that.
Yeah, well, absolutely. You talk about the franchise being on the offensive side of the ball. Coach Enders might disagree with you and tell you the franchise is on the other side of the ball, and that could very well be in Parker McClure. It could be Skylar Edmonds. I mean, those two guys are equally as important for this Red Mountain defensive unit. And just think of all the things that Georgie Ramirez would do for you.
Oh,
you know,
Niner.
We always see the accolades and the benefits, the touchdowns, the hard hits, the interceptions, but it's those intangibles and those plays that kind of fall between the highlight reels, those other plays that are happening. That's when these guys are making their money and they're getting, you know, they're improving their game. Those other types of plays, but it is fun to see these guys develop.
It is. And you talk about Georgie Ramirez. I mean, we were spoiled, Kevin, for 4 straight years. That guy made so many plays on the field for Red Mountain in all 3 phases of the game. You almost took it for granted.
Well, that's what he did. He was so skilled that he knew where to be. He knew how to coach him up. So he could kind of fill in some of those holes where we didn't quite have enough topsoil to cover everything evenly. He was able to come in there and make some plays. So here we go. It's Connor Ackley back to work, working right to left, this time from his own 27-yard line, make it the mountain line 27. Play fake. Over to Jansen, 30, 25, 20. Hesitation inside the 20-yard line, close to the 15-yard line, and getting belted there by Caleb Heydrich. He tried to help him up, too. So 44 went in there, did the blast on him, and then said, hey, I got you, babe. I'll help you up. He didn't want to take the help. I like the sportsmanship from double fours right there.
Hey, all you can do is offer, right, Kev? You be the better man. You be the sportsman right there, and that was a great job of that. Credit as well for Corona del Sol's number 12, Alex Vesey, with a great stock block down the field.
These guys will drive you into the turf and then help you up. That's the sports that they are. They run it right again. This time it's Jovan Gomez. Gomez had 6 tackles and a pick last week defensively, was involved in the offense with 33 yards on 4 touches. So he makes the play there. Jalen Walker back on. Carson Mauderer right there, the punter up there to put the stick on Gomez. 1:15 to go here in this third quarter. Good crowd on hand here for the Mountain Lions. They represented well, and a great crowd here for Corona del Sol. You think things are starting to come back to normal just a little bit.
And we got to give a shout-out to the Aztec marching band. Those guys phenomenal during the pregame here tonight, halftime, and all throughout the game, keeping the energy up here in the stadium. And they always do a fantastic job here. One of the best parts of coming over here to Corona del Sol.
Jansen on the reception from Connor Ackley. Nico Garces playing a little bit banged up and not quite up to condition with the tackle there. James, I wanted to start the second half by leading with the Aztec marching band. It is something that is vital to high school sports. The marching band is everything. And when you got a good one and you got people that believe in it and they want to build it out and play the instruments, it's good stuff. Walker leaps over a defender, lunges towards the 5-yard line. My dad played the trumpet years ago at Bakersfield College in the day, and maybe Bakersfield High as well. And I was never a band guy, but I appreciated the sound. I appreciate one band, one sound. That whole idea about being in that team, being a member of the band. It's another fraternity, right? It's another.
Yes.
It's a steep and a very rich tradition to be in the band. And when you play the band and you're all in harmony, one sound, one band, one sound, there's nothing better.
It almost gives you chills, Kevin. Those guys and gals, I should say, practice long and hard hours, oftentimes way more hours. They're out here longer than the football team even.
And just the formation, right? I remember, you got a practice going on over here for baseball or football or whatever the sport may be, and then over here on the football field, the band's doing their thing. They're always occupying the time and putting their work in, so no doubt about that. We've played 3 quarters here in Tempe at Corona del Sol High School. Moving to the 4th and final stanza, our score, Red Mountain 28, Corona del Sol 0. You're watching Red Mountain Football on Red Mountain TV on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network.
Welcome back to Corona del Sol High School here in Tempe. Our score, the Mountain Lions on top of the Corona del Sol Aztecs, 28-0. The Aztecs now deep into Mountain Lion territory. They hand it off to Walker, and he's bottled up right there by a host of Mountain Lion defenders. And now, you're not going to believe this, a penalty flag.
Hey, there's another flag, James. So the idea was to bring us back, flip it over. But we'll take that. That's always good. Jalen Walker was the ball carrier there. And the greatest thing about starting these fourth quarter with a penalty is the consistency, James. I like to see that consistency. The fact that we start each quarter off with an infraction, that's just good for the game.
Yeah, well, it helps the pace of the play, right? It helps pace of play.
And now let's see what the call is.
But let's talk for a minute as we take a look at the infraction there. Dead ball foul, personal foul, assessed to, wait for it, Red Mountain.
Well, I tell you, the Coach Peterson's going to be none too pleased about the unsportsmanlike. I think that's the third.
Here comes Coach right now.
How can you have 4 or 5 penalties like that and still be up 28-0? That is just playing some darn good tackle football on the defensive side of things. They've left some plays out here, no doubt about it. But as far as if you could pick one guy to scheme and make changes within a game, I'm taking Kyle Enders 24/7, 365.
Absolutely.
That dude is beyond astute. He just knows so much about this game. His comfort level at this game is second to really none. I mean, just what he knows and what rolls off of his dome, football related, on how to stop somebody or how to defend is really remarkable.
His strategic prowess in the game of football is next level, Kevin, and we're going to have some fun in the offseason with that. More to come on that. Stay tuned.
So it's 28-0. The Mountain Lions get the football back on the change of possession because it was clear by the officials of what happened there. So the offense comes back out onto the field here. And all I can say is get ready for a big play. Because right now, Michael Mallory has home run ability. Lennox Lawson has home run ability. Jacoby Lane, the same thing. They've got about 5 or 6 guys that can get the ball or have their number called on one play and take it to the crib. They're that explosive of a football team here.
Plenty of room to work right here as well, starting from the 7. Here we go. I like this look right here.
3 wide receivers in the ball game. Jacoby Lane to the top of your screen. They run it up the middle of Michael Mallory, and Mallory is just going to hold on to that football with 2 hands and fall forward. Again, another savvy play by Michael Mallory, just showing you that he knows how to play this game. He knows how to protect the football, and he knows how to run within his own body.
Yes, we talk about Jonathan Kubat for the Corona del Sol Aztecs. Mallory is similar type running style, low to the ground. He kind of just sneaks his way through the line, and by the time the defensive linemen get off that offensive lineman's block, he's already gone by.
They run it again to the left side. Penalty marker comes in. Unfortunately, we don't have the ball carrier there. Do not have this young man on the roster wearing number 26 out there.
Time for that public service announcement, Kevin. We like to do it as little as possible, but we're forced to do it every week.
Well, I heard you say it last night, too. And you know, the idea here is that for any athletic director or principal or anybody that has anything to do with football, granted, it takes a little time to go through the exercise we call data entry.
Yes.
And data entry is the most overlooked thing in football during a given season. You need data entry. You need the right people to put the data in with the right numbers, the right weights, the positions, all that. It just makes for a better situation for the players, and they get treated a little bit differently when they have that information. 3rd and 10. It's Crispin rolling to the far side. He throws towards Jacoby Lane, makes a move at the 15 to the 20, and he fumbles the football. And it's fumbled right into, looks like Villanueva's gut. So you talk about some positive breaks here. Nice pop by the Aztecs to stick Jacoby Lane. And I got to tell you, the route that Jacoby made, a little curl route there, but it was the separation, the turnaround, the spin, and the comeback to the football. That's where he left his defender. That's when Carter Crispin found the target. Outstanding route.
Jacoby Lane did a great job getting out of the break right there and just really eyeing that football, hauling it in, and then the fortunate turn of events there where it was popped out right into the arms of the Typhoon.
Play fake. They go back to Jacoby Lane, and he makes a little fake on the sideline, continues to shed tacklers, and this time they're going to bottle him up after a 2-yard gain. They needed 2, maybe 3 defenders for the Aztecs this time. And now, James, inside 10 minutes to go on this very, very warm evening here in Tempe, Arizona. Attrition will become a factor here in the next few minutes here. It is just ungodly hot out here, and you've got to stay hydrated here in this one.
Absolutely. It's hot, and it's still more than that, Kevin. There's no breeze whatsoever, even with somebody running down the track right now. The flag sitting still there in the, I believe that's the east end zone.
Here comes Jacoby Lane around the edge of the 30. And he gets his legs taken out. You talk about a submarine-type tackle right there. We saw that one right there. Big-time stick by Tristan Schaefer. Coming off a 10-tackle game last week, Tristan Schaefer knifing in there and taking out Jacoby Lane. That was a big-time tackle play.
That's exactly what you want to do. You want to cut the legs out because he can't go anywhere without those legs, and that was well done right there by the Aztecs, number 31, Tristan Schaefer.
Out of that safety position. You talk about read and react, and once again, Jacoby just kind of Cadillacing right around to the edge. Didn't quite step on the accelerator and then got drilled. So tremendous play there by Schaefer. 3rd and 7 from the 30. Play fake for Crispin. He throws towards Heath. The ball's caught at the 45-yard line. He'll turn around and head into Aztec territory, run out of bounds around the 40-yard line, and that was a nifty pass by Carter Crispin, floating it down the near sideline, and Preston Heap makes the catch. Looking like Pops on that play, securing the football, turning around, getting a little yak.
How about that? We had the pleasure of talking with Todd Heap a couple weeks ago at home as we played at Red Mountain High School. And this evening, as I'm coming into Corona del Sol, I had the chance to walk in with Mrs. Heap, and we were talking about our boys playing. They're having a great time. And you saw right there Preston Heap, a great job going up and getting that football. 6'1", 175, pulling that one out of the night sky.
Carter Crispin to Preston Heap, good for 20 yards. Back on the run again, it is Crispin, and the intended target was Jacoby Lane, and Jacoby dropped that football. That ball hit him right in the numbers, and I believe that Jacoby might have taken his eye off the ball just for a second. And, I mean, we're talking a split second because that was enough for him to lose the vision of the football.
Yeah, there was a lot going on that far sideline. He was approaching the sideline, first of all, trying to haul that football in. Defensive traffic coming his way, and he just tried to turn upfield, but just a hair too quickly.
I wonder how he does that. He's got to talk to the official. He comes out of the huddle talking to his quarterback. He's going to talk to the DB. He's talking to the sidelines. And then somehow or another, he's got to find out who he can talk to get the football in his hands. Here goes Jacoby looking for the home run ball here. Crispin wanted to go deep. He's going to cut inside, and now he's going to tuck it and run. And he'll sidestep a would-be defender near the 40, lunge towards the 35-yard line. He wanted Jacoby Lane in the end zone, just couldn't get him the football. Great coverage in that secondary that time.
Little Johnny Manziel move right there for Carter Crispin. A little climb to the inside real quick and pick up about 5-6 more yards.
Great coverage by Marcel McKay on Jacoby Lane. So Jacoby does an awful lot of talking out there. Inspector Gadget, he's out there, and he's one of the best ones that they have. 3rd and 4 from the Aztec 34-yard line. Crispin, slap of the hands. They run it to Lawson. Lawson sheds a tackler, and Lance tried to make a little juju move at the 30-yard line, lost his footing and went down. And Lennox comes up just a little bit ginger after that play. And those are the runs that we asked the question, are you surprised we see Lennox getting the ball in the backfield, running in between the tackles as much as he has been? And I think we both agreed yes to that question. But when we see Lennox in space running away from the defense, we understand why. But it's those types of shots that I like to see him avoid going forward. Mallory in motion to the right side. Empty set for Carter. Here comes the blitz. He throws under pressure, and the ball is going to be caught for a touchdown. Off the carom. Michael Mallory off the carom on the end zone for a touchdown.
Oh,
you talk about lady luck being here. I can only imagine.
All right, Kev, we got to go. We got to get to Casino, Arizona right now. Let's go.
I'm thinking they're talking it over. There's got to be a flag on the play, no?
No flag. No flag. What a ball by Carter Crispin. First of all, he had the defender right in his mug, and he stood in there, delivered a strike, and it bounced off of one receiver, carrying off of him right into the waiting arms of another for 6.
Marcel McKay should have intercepted the football. He didn't, and it dropped into the waiting arms of Michael Mallory. But once again, Michael Mallory just nose up, has an incredible cerebral approach. He knows where the football is, and Michael Mallory is just a playmaker.
Absolutely.
You talk about being
what a stud
at the right place at the right time. 34-0 is our score. There goes Villanueva in motion. They give it to him, and he stiffs arms the tackler. Here comes the Aztec defense, and somehow Villanueva gets a little bit of something out of absolutely nada. Nothing doing at all for Villanueva. Good pressure at that time. It was Nathan Cormier Ward with the pressure in the backfield to slow that play down. And now we get more whistles here. Talk about slowing down. Boy, the pace of this game has slowed down greatly. And instead of just saying, hey, let's pause, let's just take a full timeout. 6:14 to go. We'll take the timeout as well. You're watching Red Mountain Football on Red Mountain TV on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. .6:14 remaining in this fourth quarter. It's 28-0. I wonder what happened with the score. They put up the 34 points, and they took that off. So we stand corrected up here in the booth. Oh, wait a minute. We're not in the booth. We're in the stands.
Yes, we are.
We are in the stands at Corona del Sol High School. Shout out to
just
Kevin
think
McCabe.
We could have sat in the air condition up there.
It would have been two guys over 6'4", 230 in a sardine can. They run it again up the middle to number 26. And I'll just tell you, James, when I see 26 run with the football, I think of one thing. I think of Donovan Fontaine. He's the tailback that played at Sandra Day O'Connor a year ago. He was a recruit for ACU. He'll be playing tomorrow for the Firestorm.
That's right.
But
you guys got a game in the morning.
He's the only 26 that I have on the dome right now. I do not know who 26 is for Red Mount football. If you know this anywhere, please give us a shout-out. At KDB Voice.
No, we know who used to wear that jersey last year.
It was Villanueva a year ago.
Now
the snap gets by Carter. It's a fumbled football, and Carter is going to come away with the football. A little bit of a wrestling match with Keona Pete. 6'4", 260. And there's that name again, James, Pete, here at Corona del Sol High School. Andrews Pete, Todd Pete. Lots of Petes here. More repeat, too. Andrews playing in the league now on Sundays, I believe, with the New Orleans Saints.
Yep.
Todd Pete had some time in the league. Cassius Pete, one of the other Petes, good basketball player. State champion with Sammy Duane, with Marvin Bagley and Barcello.
Some kind of athletic heritage here for the Aztecs.
Mauder to Jansen at the 11. Puts on the brakes at the 15, and he'll lunge towards the 20-yard line. And that's where he'll be knocked to the turf right there. Special teams tackle. Ross Grosscloss and company over there. Parker McClure has checked in this ball game. It looks like Parker will get a series here. And as much as we wanted to see Parker McClure, it's also good that he's fresh. It's fresh legs for 30 out there on the field right now.
That's exactly what you want to see.
Special thank you to all of our outstanding crew here with Red Mountain TV, including our technical producer, Mr. Jeremy Knutson, and Mr. Volkoon, and all the guys upstairs getting things done, bringing you the cinematography and everything here at Corona del Sol.
Well, seeing as it's, 11:15 in Dallas, Texas, I can only imagine Adam Olson's watching tonight's broadcast as well, probably home from the Maypearl Panthers football game there in Texas. So shout out to my guy Adam Olson there in the viewing audience, former Corona del Sol Aztec.
We say AL. Pass over the middle is batted down there, Ross Grosscloss. And this is going to surprise some people watching the game at home. There is a penalty marker on the field here, James.
What?
I do appreciate that. As much as the next guy, I appreciate a well-officiated game. But when you're this deep into the contest and we're still talking about that, it just, at some point, let them play a little ball. And not every game happens to be the Super Bowl.
You know, sometimes, Kev, we almost expect it during the first game or two of the season because everybody's been waiting to go, right? We've been waiting to call the games. They've been waiting to blow those whistles and finally get out there and put into play what they've learned and what they've practiced and everything. And so we kind of expect it for the first couple of games, but you're right. They've got to let them play football here, especially in a 28-0 contest.
4:51 to go in the quarter. Empty set for Ackley. Here comes a blitz. It's Parker McClure there first, and down goes Ackerley. Another sack for this Red Mount defense. Great work there by Red Mountain. Zane Wang also there with Parker McClure and company. And Connor Ackley had nowhere to go with the football.
All I saw was 30 screaming across that 30-yard line, and I knew it was about to go down, Kev.
You talk about the speed to the edge, turns the corner, and is like he knows exactly, makes a beeline to the quarterback, meets the quarterback with Zane Wang, and Ackley went down to the turf. Loss of 8. 2nd and 18 from their own 27-yard line, and we get an official's timeout. This is just tremendous officiating to fix the shoulder pad of one of our own. And that is Brandon Kasmerick. Braden. Over the middle of the field goes Corona. Jansen with the reception. Xavier Sanchez over there, along with Tristan Donlin for Red Mountain. You know, Coach Enders talks about trying to develop and build depth. We might find out that the Red Mountain defense has been trying to put in new plays and put in new things to the system this whole second half. That's how Coach Enders will go. He said, listen, we're going to have this game won. I'm going to start putting some new things in. That's how they get better. Jansen at the 40 off the slant. Ripped down to the turf there by Nico Garces. Good to see Nico back getting some playing time. He's the starting cornerback on this football team, but he's been plagued by health issues, and it's just good to see him out there on the field. So nice to see Nico out there. And hey, Skylar Edmonds, if you're watching this game at home, a shout out to you, my man. Having a whale of the year. You got job tonight, and we look forward to seeing you Friday night at Red Mountain High School.
We miss you too, 7.
Ackley scrambles, and he is going to get dropped. Zane Wang and company there. Garces is also there, just a host of tacklers for Red Mountain.
Flag on the play, Kev, but credit to Ackley for making something out of nothing right there and taking a few shots to get a few yards for his team and possibly a first down here, but we'll check that flag.
And a youngster that played remarkable last week was Tyler Brenner, and Tyler Brenner made a nice play right there as well. As this five-man crew will talk things over here, they've already made the announcement here that the officials will not be able to watch the 10 o'clock news tonight, so they're not trying to get out of here for that. There's nothing going there. It's just that they're
just shooting for Friday Night Fever now, right?
They're just looking to perhaps be part of some highlight footage here in the next 250 and move on. Next week, another big week, right?
Oh, big week.
They're all big here at this time.
Every week is big, KD.
Every week it gets bigger and bigger. The only game that we know about next week is the Epic Sports Network game, and that's Desert Vista and these Aztecs. That's right here.
We're going to have a leg up on these guys. We're going to have a chance to see them here tonight, and we will get to see them again in 6 days. As we head to Max Preps.
Ackley with an empty set, looks left, fires left. The ball is batted around, and it's nearly intercepted. Red Mountain will return home after this 2-week road action here, picking up a couple of dubs. They'll take on the Warriors from Westwood. Coach Ide and company.
They had a big win, Kevin, last week. I was impressed. We got a chance to see the Paradise Valley Trojans a couple of weeks ago on Thursday Night Football, and Westwood took care of business 55-12 against those Trojans.
And I think what you saw there is just literally a level of play here. 6A versus 4A, just the body count, and Westwood is through a lot more dudes at Paradise Valley. The Trojans are really undermanned under Greg Davis. That night we saw them beat North Canyon. It was really a special night for Paradise Valley. They are so undermanned when it comes to body count. And for Greg Davis, he just kept coaching, and it was just it was the Jaden McDaniel show. 6 touchdowns.
6, that's right.
He had quite an evening here. 2:35 to go on this one, and you start thinking about the player of the game here for Red Mountain, and it would be hard not to give it to Josiah Villanueva. He made some big-time plays, but I kind of feel like Cooper Beecher deserves some love in this one. He took a kickoff back, some 95-plus yards. He took a punt back, another 70 yards, both of them negated by penalties. But how often do you see a player do that, return a kick, not just one, but both of them?
I would have to give it to Cooper Beecher as well, not only for those efforts, but his efforts on defense here tonight as well. He's laid the wood a few times
he has
here
been
tonight.
Really, really, really fun to watch tonight here. And there's other guys. Carter Crispin has yet to win that award yet here through 3 games, but he's well on his way as well. He's got 3 touchdown passes here tonight, but, yeah, for my money, it's going to be the Beach. Cooper Beecher surfs up tonight here. Ackley back to throw. Wants to pull the trigger, and he can't because he goes down. He's going to get sacked again. But here comes a penalty marker from the linesman. It was a late flag, too. Braden Kasmerick was there to get to Ackley. Tristan Donnelly was also there, and the line judge threw that flag after the quarterback went down. So to me, James, it was the length of time it took to call that infraction.
Yeah, that was, Ackerley got bottled up there by a couple of Red Mountain defenders, and there was a lot of stuff that goes on, Kev, when guys get together in that pile like that, and people are still fighting and driving and scratching and clawing, and I'm saying literal scratching and clawing going on in there, and sometimes a little bit too much of it. You saw the head get jerked a little bit there of Ackerley, and that might have called for the flag.
So this penalty will be assessed against Red Mountain in the 15-yard variety. Ball's now on the mountain line, 30-yard line. Working left to right is Connor Ackley and the Corona del Sol Aztecs. Coach Enders trying to hang on here for another 2:20 to get that shutout here. Ackley back to throw. Here comes the pressure. He steps up in the pocket. Now he wants to run it. Now he's going to throw it, and the ball is caught over the middle of the field. It looks like Owen Jansen once again, and here comes another penalty marker coming in. And, James, it's the timing of the infraction. The play was tackle was over, and then the flag came in. So let's see what this call is all about. Because it came in tardy. Back-to-back tardy calls.
Yeah, this
unless they're going to say he was through that pass, a forward pass, which I don't think was the call.
Across the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, I just – the tackle was fine.
I think that's about the only call I'm okay with, and that one I'm not okay with.
I missed the call. I was checking with Mr. Kubat right there, and I missed the call.
Shot to the head. Personal foul.
No.
Shot to the head.
No.
Basically, targeting.
Disagree.
Come on, man. I got to say something, okay? This targeting thing is getting out of hand. In high school, in college, and in football, and in the pros. It's football.
It's pretty clear, but like we talked about off the air, and we always have our best conversations off the air, we're talking about a guy like Ronnie Lott, or a guy like Steve Atwater, or a guy like Tim McDonald, or a Rod Woodson, players of that kind of ilk, where they're saying, hey, I couldn't play successfully in this game today because of some of the new rules.
Here's the biggest dude. It'd be Rodney Harrison. Can you imagine Rodney Harrison trying to play this day?
Former Charger. Yeah, all those guys. But those guys are all special, right? All those guys brought something special from the safety position.
Yes.
And we're talking most of those guys. In fact, I think all of them, except for the latter, are Hall of Fame guys. And so, it's tough. There was even some conversation about how Tom Brady's had it easy playing football because of the way that they have taken away some of the authority of the defensive players. They're making it easier for the offense to have success because we want to see more track meets and this kind of thing. Boy, it's tough to police, isn't it? It really is.
If you think about football from the time from here tonight, and then from the time we were growing up watching the pros with our dads and watching games when we were younger, it was primarily running, right? It was primarily running. You threw every once in a while, but there was nothing like it is nowadays.
Power
yes.
ball.
Yes.
O.J. Simpson.
Yes.
Ackley wants to go to the end zone. Rolls to the near side. Fires it out of bounds. Inside 2 minutes to go. 1:59 on the Longines scoreboard. It's 28-0. Mountain Lions have the lead. And guess what? We waited for the flag. After the ball sailed out of bounds, they put up a fresh 40 on the play clock, and then here came the flag.
I can't imagine. I can see Coach Pete over there just going up and down the sideline, trying to figure out exactly what in the world is going on here at 28-0.
I can see Pete's a little bit hot, but Braden Kasmerick runs off the field. Boy, I tell you what, when I get older and when I grow up, I want to be a little bit like Braden Kasmerick, number 99. You just love the guy's size, right? He is a dude. What's the size of Braden Kasmerick? 6'4", 235. That's me. I mean, that's is
you,
me
buddy.
Right now.
Svelte as ever.
Maybe not as fleet of foot as Braden.
Come on now.
But I tell you what.
You just got to get out there and run those ropes a little more, KD.
Just let me stretch, and I'm going to get up and go.
You had no time in 2 days. You had no spring football. So
right.
you're behind the 8 ball right now.
I just need a little massage on the calves, and we'll be good. Just loosen
a protein shake or two, and you're –
Nah, I don't even need that. Just a little
rockin' protein, by the way. Shout out there to Coach Brandow.
Tall glass of lime Gatorade, a little ice, crystal clear ice. Polish
lime Gatorade.
We'll go. Let's
lime
go.
Cucumber.
Go get it. No. Don't ruin it.
I didn't know there was a straight lime Gatorade. This is new information.
Lemon lime, if you will.
Oh, okay.
Lemon
gotcha.
lime.
Old school.
They run it up the middle, and that's going to be a touchdown for the Aztecs. Marcel McKay from 5 yards away. He hits pay dirt, and that'll end the shutout for this Mountain Lion defense. At the 1:54 mark of this fourth quarter, it's Marcel McKay off left tackle, 5 yards away. Touchdown, Aztecs.
But all in all, Kev, 9 point. Let's say they give up one more here. That would be 10 points given up in 3 full games of football. That's pretty outstanding.
It really is. Yeah. This defense has been spectacular, and it's amazing because everybody will say it. Here's a good snap, a good hold, and the kick is right down Broadway. Point after is good. 28-7 our score. James, if you look at Red Mountain as a whole, and are there some things to clean up and correct for this football team? No question about it.
Sure.
Have they left a lot of plays on the football field? Yeah, they have. So as well as they've done, they're going to come out of this thing 3-0. They've got work to do, and this team can do nothing but improve.
Exactly right. I can't help but mention once again, this defense very successful here tonight against Corona without Skylar Edmonds. So they're so much better with him, and we look forward to getting him back next week. And they're just going to continue to improve, get more reps together. Crispin's going to get more comfortable in the pocket back there and really start to light a fire underneath this offense.
No doubt about it. What a tradition here at Corona del Sol. You got to love it. They got a great student body presence here, and a lot of parents and of the like, grandparents, just family members, all here to support this great community here in Tempe, Arizona. And we talked about the band and the prowess of the band and what it means to be part of the band. And it's a big deal here at Corona del Sol.
I wanted to shout out Coach Brandow as well. We were talking earlier today. His wife, I believe he said she's one of the teachers here at Corona, so it's kind of a house divided.
Sure.
And he just said, I guess she's going to have to wear that Red Mountain shirt to work on Monday, huh?
Right
good
on.
Stuff.
That
good
is
stuff.
Good. That's what I was thinking. If Caber got back to me, I said we're going to come up with some sort of bet, but we didn't get it. We didn't get it done.
Good stuff. Well, she'll do great in that Red Mountain crimson and black. It'll look fantastic.
Karsten Kiefer is 42 for 42 last year. He's perfect here tonight on his lone point after try. Onside kick, and there is the other Cooper Turley right there to field that ground ball, wrap it up, and just fall to the turf. Smart football there by Cooper Turley. Heads up play for him. And you got to doff your cap here to both Coopers tonight. They have played sensational football, James.
The Red Mountain Law Firm, affectionately known as Cooper and Cooper, doing a great job here tonight once again for these Mountain Lions, and both those guys making plays all year long here, even in this early part of the season.
That's exactly right. Now, for Red Mountain, it'll be Kyle Heap to take the rest of the snaps here in place of Carter Crispin. Tavion Sewing stacked up to the near side. Two backs now, one to the left, one to the right of Kyle Heap. One back moved early, but that's okay. We'll just keep that here between us. And running down the near side, it looks like it's Zane Wang. And Zane Wang gets loose to the edge, turns the corner, and coasts up the near sideline. How about Zane Wang right here getting it done here with a little shoulder dip and finish?
How about that? I love that. Just full out contact right there at the end. Hey, listen, you're getting in the football game. You got a little bit of time left. You're going to make it count, right?
How about make it count to a 12-yard run for Zane Wang and knocking a dude from here to there?
Yes.
Ball now on the 38-yard line of the Aztecs. 1:42 to go. Unfortunately for Zane Wang, the only mistake he made was he took the play out of bounds. 28-7 our score. It's Red Mountain by 3 touchdowns. 3 down linemen. They show blitz to the Aztecs. Here they come. They run it to Zane Wang again, and he runs behind the left tackle this time. Nice job there by Wang. It is Joseph Wallace, an outside linebacker, making the tackle. 5'10", $185. He had 2 tackles last week.
The offensive depth here as well for Red Mountain, impressive. You're able to have a guy come in like Wang, which is essentially he's the RB3, right, Kev? After the 2 lead running backs with L3 and then the Typhoon. So he's coming in here and being productive even in just a short amount of work here tonight.
He's played in all 3 games now, has Zane Wang. 2-yard run there. 62 seconds to go in this one. Corona del Sol is 39-62 in the last decade with 2 playoff appearances. Both losses, one to Red Mountain, one to Hamilton. They run on a sweep again, and trying to make some guys miss this time was Gianni Edwards. Gianni with the tote here, 37 seconds to go.
That might be it, Kev.
Special shout out and a quick prayer for Jonathan Kubat. The young man might have sustained a concussion here,
yes.
So thoughts and prayers out for Mr. Kubat and his family. And Jonathan, nice game for him, but that was a difference maker to lose Kubat. He was rolling, and he was an effective ground gainer for this Aztec team before he went down.
Well, definitely. Thoughts and prayers as well with the Kubats and making sure that he is okay. And we're looking forward to seeing him hopefully next Thursday night out of Desert Vista.
Awatuki will take the road show on the Epic Sports Network out there. 2 seconds to go on this one. It's gone final. All zeros here as Michael Peterson will head out as the Mountain Lions pick up the victory here. Red Mountain will now improve to 3-0. They win it 28-7. For head coach Mike Peterson, he picks up career win number 38. And as a program now, the Mountain Lions pick up career win number 225 here this evening with this win over the Aztecs from Corona del Sol. Well, James, as we part ways here, anytime you come away with a road win, it's impressive. And the way that the Mountain Lions won this game without one of their better defenders in Skylar Edmonds, they used Josiah Villanueva to an impressive degree. Carter Crispin had a nice contest with 3 touchdown passes, and then you had that double pass play, Jacoby Lane to Lennox Lawson, and then Lennox Lawson got loose with another 50-plus yard touchdown run. All things were working for this Mountain Lion offense tonight.
They were rolling, and they're just going to continue to get better and shore things up. They got to clean up some things, as you mentioned. They'll go back in the film room tomorrow and do that. But an overall outstanding effort here for the Red Mountain Lions, improving to 3-0, and now we return home next week to battle the Westwood Warriors.
Special thank you to Parker & Sons as they donated another $400 to Red Mountain Football for tonight's 4 touchdowns. We also like to thank Dry Force, Chuck Fine's Meats, Tate's AC Heating and Cooling, McDonald Orthodontics, all of our good friends at Boss Advisors, MGI Automation, McCarthy Construction, Dr. Corey Giles Family Dental Care, Crazy Subs, Brock Asset Management, Lucky Lou's, Cactus Fuel, 3G Construction, and Superior Home Pros, proud sponsors of Red Mountain Football. For our tremendous broadcasting crew, for Jeremy Knutson and his staff, and everyone affiliated with Red Mountain Football, for Principal Casey Eagleberger, head coach Mike Peterson, and for my partner James Booby, I'm Kevin Derryberry. Until next time, so long for now. Where the Mountain Lions win it 28-7, they're now 3-0, and it's on to Westwood. Good night from Tempe, Arizona.